would be meaningless unless it was linked to the total liberation of the African continent. 68 years on, Excellencies, you've returned to Accra at another consequential moment. The fight for liberation today is against another kind of oppressor, one that is more subtle, yet no less dangerous. It is the fight against inequality, a fight against oppression of viral diseases, of mothers forced to bury their children, of children denied even a single moment of the innocent joy of a mother's smile. It's liberation from this oppression, Excellencies. Liberation from this oppression, Excellencies, shall be measured in the clinics that stay open in our countries, in the medicines that are manufactured on African soil, in mothers cuddling joyful infants, and in financial budgets adorned with the numbers of our own choosing. We've gathered here because we are the front line of this liberation struggle. We are the generals of the continent's battalion of change seekers. I thank the chairperson of the union, the chairperson of the commission, and Commissioner Amachung and her tireless team for the confidence placed in Ghana to lay the groundwork for this campaign to strengthen health systems and combat maternal mortality, infectious diseases, and non-communicable diseases. Some will ask, what is truly extraordinary about this session, given that our union meets regularly to discuss many similarly weighty matters? The answer, respectfully, is that the hour itself is extraordinary. By our own decisions in Addis Ababa, this assembly requested a fully costed continental roadmap to 2030 and beyond. We adopted it in February 2025 and directed that we convene to drive its implementation. That mandate would have been reason enough, but surely not extraordinary. World affairs today have, however, conspired to dramatize the situation. Development assistance for health fell more than 1/5 in a single year, from around 49.6 billion to about 39.1 billion. And so on average, significant numbers of our member states still finance roughly half of their health budgets from external sources. The temptation is to reach for words like crisis, catastrophe, maybe even apocalypse. But our duty today is to urge us to seek other acceptable language, words of urgency, no less, but of a different spirit. Let us not dress despair in the robes of earnestness. We should not succumb to panic and call it vigilance. After all, the system that is crumbling today was merely the scaffolding on the building. No one building, something enduring, a monument their descendants will be proud of, spends their time stuck on the scaffolding. Who bemoans the discarding and dismantling of the scaffolding? It is always the tower that we must uphold. Our eyes should remain fixed on that towering edifice of African liberation. The question haunting this meeting today is simple. Are we builders of towers, or we are merely erectors of scaffolds? Excellencies, I want us to examine the books together. Our continent is still home to 2/3 of the 40 million people living with HIV worldwide. A true tragedy. But the more encouraging fact is that AIDS-related deaths have fallen by nearly 3/4 since their peak. Right there is the proof we need that when we rise to the occasion, our problems will crumble at our feet. On tuberculosis, I often hear that 17 of the world's 30 highest in the middle of the century, taxing our demographic dividend before it is ever paid. And that is why the Presidential Council of the Accra Reset convened a high-level panel on reform of the global health architecture and governance to consider a root, stem, and branch transformation of the mindsets, policies, programs, and systems that define global public health today. That meeting took place in Dakar, Senegal. But we're not by this action delegating our agency to any notion of an abstract global health hierarchy. While the high-level panel is independent, we have been emphatic that we don't want another list of lamentations. We have no plan to go around employing others for salvation. What we want is ideas that put the global south, the global majority, and our African family firmly in the driving seat of our own health destinies. And that is why the panel's normative and intellectual work is harnessed to the Health Investment National Gateway Enablers, in short, HINGE, and the Reform Interlock Observatory, RIO, platforms we are also building within the Accra Reset Movement. We must build sockets at home to connect public initiatives with private investment and unblock barriers in the way of turning health from being a fiscal sink into an economic multiplier. Here in Ghana, we have created a whole new set of anchors for the regional harnesses that I've just described. These include the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, which Ghanaians, with their customary sense of humor, have christened Mahama Cares. Through these instruments, we are shielding families from the ruinous cost of chronic diseases. I'm proud to observe, Excellencies, that many of you are taking similarly bold steps in your own countries. Regarding our mothers and newborns, I wish to express my strongest personal support for President Samia Suluhu, our AU champion for maternal and child health, and to inform the Assembly that through Accra Reset, we hope to work very closely together on the Mother Africa call to action. This is the continent's first charter in support of the African Union's roadmap on maternal and child survival, which is built around measurable objectives and a clear set of reform principles. I therefore urge that we carry the same sense of ambition into each and every one of our deliberations, nor should we, even as we aim high, forget those of our brothers and sisters who are at the lowest ebb of life, those in conflict areas and internally displaced persons, where clinics have been razed to rubble and cold chains have become heaps of broken containers. The sovereign health agenda that is guiding our step as we march out of dependence will ring hollow if we cannot reach every corner of our continent. We cannot have the fog of war in the beautiful Congo Basin cloud the spread of Ebola on the delightful banks of the Nile. By now, we've all heard that Africa imports around 70% of its medicines, more than 90% of its medical devices, and over 99% of its vaccines. We all remember standing in the queue in 2021, cash in hand, watching others served first as the panic of COVID-19 threatened to overwhelm the world. We learned a bitter lesson, and thank God we have learned from it. Today, it gives me great pride to see vaccines flowing from Dakar, to see messenger RNA sciences being catapulted from Cape Town, to see the head of Ghana's brand new vaccine institute go toe-to-toe with biotech strategists around the world, to hear the new facility for cutting-edge biologicals.
This morning, I want to start by introducing a team from the party's Finance and Economy Policy Committee, chaired by the Honorable Amin Adam Anta, MP for Karaga and former Minister for Finance and Economic Planning. The Honorable Gideon Boakon, MP for Tano North, will be joined shortly by the Honorable Abena Osayasari, MP for Tiwa East and Chairperson Public.
Ansem Najewan no pa Nagana Fonyin Abusia Nesumimo Akwaba live on the TV SYZ and POA 97.9 FM inside politics Jumedi Suni Sama Hudo a etwegu o man Ghana ade di ne sere fata se de beba ofie de beba okamu na ye de abedu adwuma mu nso ye nyina ya bomodin atoto adwene na ensema hodo a etwegu o man Ghana mu ano ye nyina ya penepom asibre no nti ana enne nso ya bomodin na ya tenase na ye de dwumade yi eba wakwam e de ababesom uko Facebook ayem platforms no e ho at Power 979 FM tro ni nyina fa bom utro bom a obenya live on Facebook TVSYZ enso e wo Facebook na mo bomodin kopiem e wo YouTube aye XYZ broadcaster na ho nso abomodin atimi agebre na ye de dwumade yi e de abro fi sabre ya enkonkọ pem 6 p.m. ebebo uko Mr. Raf Jampo Mr. Imano Kisi, Mr. Imano Neti, Abbas, and Mr. Peter Cranton, Abribia, one more MCR. As you say, TV Nisuma said, I also bet him Ajebre. Now, watch you media be Lizzie, ne makeup, Fia, say. And then Francis, and Kofia Sante, and the agent cameras, and the trade media we know so much media. Mr. Kelvin Asante, one only me producer. Our modi ahye djumadi nyina se menso membra na me medi djumadi ho chiame se be na me so mede ebetimi asom abusia mede ndi yanke Obrempong the grassroots president okwapeman kanea tutu akwapem de hye metena se pe abribia na wakai se ye no kredie ye pepepe yo ye kwampa biara wo man Ghana ebekoso dia fa ntema pa bi de afira se be ye na wotimamuni wo Ghana ni nso mfa so die bi ebeba so no wonsa etimi aka wo de Nyankopon wanhira wa mempreda se ne so wagebre se ye ni sa dwumade we emfa emumum ene nsema hodo no ana gu table yi so de di ne se na fata ya bobo no ye de ba wakwam na ye de aba beso the New Patriotic Party MPP for womo akasa area afa nyame ya adoma wo kine ya media budget review a eba so the finance minister Dr. Kasiela Atoba Forsen ebe present no na den na MPP for aka area afa ho ye de sansemi emu nchemu ana ewo ho nyina no ye de ba na ye de aba be som the minority caucus in parliament womo frɛ womo say womo entwa emra no egina ho se wodidi atem se woyeye empanifoɔ egu omufi a emra ma yetimi gina so ma ye chi om no minority for akwole se yentwa sa mranum se de ebeya krofo betimi anya daje edi atem abusia de mu nkyeremu ese na efata nyina beba ho Rita Kunadu dodo na afre no mama 1 wono so ye MPP sympathizers ni bi a wate na no agu o mampani John Dramani Mahama so ene ne hire the first lady Lordina Mahama her excellency na ensemo abagwa we aka area form no me no ka say there o police for akache a police for amano so asensemi hwehwemu kom na de ese na fata bia no wo matimi ade abono asene the deputy attorney general justice Semsai ana sabre yadu wo mo ho a chemawu ntumi case a course no MPP for ka say dakura ye kwa akobia anade Accra High Court kwa akobua Bernard Ntwibu Asiako the Ashanti regional chairman of the MPP a friend of chairman Wuntumi ye kwa akobua na asem ana ye kwaje judgment no na ne lawyer kra ni kro yimu na ne lawyer ni ho nti esidan ana court ni timi dis judgment ni tudwa ye behwe sense no de wo mu bia no na ye de aso the New Patriotic Party for me no ka say one more the ababonte say from the 25th day of July up to 31st of July we one more be chase a 6-day nationwide demonstration e wo wuntumi 20-year jail sentence asabri wa chase a wosom ewo ensawa mo na busia sami ane de ka ho ne yabomoden abobo ano aye de ba beso mo bebia wagebre na wo hwe dwumadi anase wutie dwumadi ye beda ne ye ho aba ye ba pe ye ba bebie sensem nyina atwen ye ba Abusha, Mesamo Akwaba Kasibio Deba live on TVSYZ and Power 97.9 FM inside politics. Jumedio City. If it's a break up 6 p.m. Bebo. And some who do a Hegu, or my emo, the dinner fata, so Subitmania want to say, and a yen baby boom, Yadi won't come on after Yapem penny for so one much sense in Yasi, Edin Chimu Senefata, about Besumi, and said, Bay Abribiano and Sayam penny for the Guo, while Baimu, Nadiato Tonyamana, Edi Yedian Kososi, Ka Ejuma, Edia Breno, Yenina Yensa. Etimi akabi midin di enke Obrempong midi jumedi en wuchame atena konya kese mu ede ama Mugabe master the capacity man commander of the 900 million angels commander baby awo enewei enke Obrempong me se Nyankopon wanhirawa enyade a mepeneda ko Facebook yen platforms no ho at Power 979 FM TV XYZ ubenya jumedi en wahwe bi jumedi en koso adwenkyire bi ebeba otirimbo modern na fato ase na fe yen nyina yen koso emmubo ho na yen hwe kwan ye befa so aboa na woman we afa ntema pa bi de afra TVSYZ Power 979 FM wo Facebook YouTube XYZ broadcasting e wonso gibrehwe dwumadi ni bi na fo adwenkyere to ase wo mrepem no yebekin kan sensem ni nyina e de abo dwumadi we Nyankopon wanhyira wa anyade amepene da ebusa ye to ye dwumadi ni so a now the new patriotic party aba bekasa na wamkasa wamo kan se nyame yadom a wo kene ya Dr. Kasiel Atuba Force and the finance minister of the Republic of Ghana co-presented the mid-year budget review. Mrashebedwem way ana MPP for the kan babekasa say sa economic growth economy abribia NDC for aban betena so a womo kasa say economy no ye ba ya ye ni ye ye sika kra gina faako sidi na hoden abamu no enye policies bia ana omudi agu ho na emomu no eye gold a womo ababeto no prekese eno ano mo de bo mo safo hine se wo mo asese economy ni managina so yenkonko tie MPP for wobra na kojo opon kroma eye ofuase ayerebi mrase bedwani ejina ni mu a wo keka sensem yeba yebeto adwumani sama.
We want to speak about the credibility of some of the promises that they are making going forward, and here I'll treat it in 4 major parts. Announcements. We celebrate a lot of announcements that the finance minister makes when he announces them, and we see a lot of headlines. But when you go into the details of what has actually been released and executed, it's very disappointing. In June, the finance ministry said it released 1.6 billion Ghana cedis to agriculture. The Greek ministry put the authorization at rather 910 million Ghana cedis. And then they further argued that even disbursement was lower at 453 million Ghana cedis. Right to information reports indicate 76 to 90% of the big push road contracts worth over 70 billion Ghana cedis are sole sourced. And when the country was assured that payment will not be a problem, we are now finding out that capital execution, as I have already explained to you, is only about 58% of target. So money is a problem. So when announcements are made, that's not what we'll be looking at. We'll be looking at the cash releases because they tell 2 different stories. It is the cash release that tells the truth. The second is that the jobs numbers are audio announcements. They are in the pipeline. They are not on the payroll. The 24-hour economy promised about 1.7 million jobs. Its direct 2026 allocation is 110 million Ghana cedis. They now claim that they've created about 160,000 jobs and signed some MOUs, but they are not operating projects. And the totals lean on multipliers of 1 to 4. And if you look at the detail of the 160,000 jobs that they are claiming out of a number of filling stations that they say are operating 24 hours, it's laughable. You all know that filling stations were operating in this country before the NDC came to power. So to claim that about 300 or so filling stations are operating 24 hours as evidence of a functioning 24-hour economy program, and 160,000 jobs announced out of it is laughable. A memorandum of understanding is not a pay slip. In cocoa, a producer price of 41,000 cedis per ton was announced in February, yet farmers reportedly remained unpaid even as at March, despite a pledged $337 million disbursement. So they announced one thing, but the reality on the ground is another. Let's also talk about the unfinished business the government inherited and has still not dealt with. When the previous administration left office, approximately 98% of all debt eligible for restructuring had been negotiated. The domestic debt exchange restructured $20 billion equivalent and delivered debt service savings. The Eurobond restructuring is what delivered the stock reduction, over $5 billion. Yet, nearly 2 years on, the remaining 2%, just 2%, somebody did 98%, you are left with 2% to do. 2 years on, that 2%, about $2.7 billion, is still unresolved under this government. And where are the promised independent fiscal council, the debt management office, and other institutions? Have they been abandoned or delayed or quietly shelved? Or the new fiscal council, we saw an announcement that the new fiscal council has been put in place. Have they been cowed into silence already, as other critical voices are being cowed into silence by this administration? The fourth issue is that borrowing has already begun. Just 9 weeks after the IMF ECF ended, and even before the IMF board considers the last ECF review, the executive is in Parliament asking for nearly $1 billion. The minority will scrutinize every PESWA, purpose, terms, and collateral, and where each CD will actually go. Finally, we think that Thursday's presentation must disclose a few things with numbers and not just assurances. First, the actual half-year execution line by line against allotment, and we'll be asking, did the first quarter pattern persist or did it reverse? Second, a full decomposition of the primary surplus, structural revenue, gold windfall, expenditure compression, valuation effects, and one-offs. Third, one reconciled debt to GDP figure and the methodology they are using for it. Fourth, a current audited arrears stock with a credible payment schedule tied to actual allocations. Number 5, verified payroll employment for the Big Push and the 24-hour economy program, and project-level Big Push procurement disclosure. Number 6, the true loss figure and the resolution plan for the Bank of Ghana. Remember, as we've mentioned, the minister has not presented it to Parliament. A team of NDC persons came to Parliament to do a press conference and understated it at 15 billion when it's actually 34, and if you take away the one-off gold sales, it's about 44. So the true figure must now be published. 7th, sensitivity analysis on gold prices, fuel costs, and the cedi. And number 8, the status of the Fiscal Council and the Independent Debt Management Office that was promised, as well as a refinancing plan for the growth agenda that names its sources. And here, let me make this point. The minister has already started sounding the market that he's going to announce some new strategies tomorrow. Mr. Minister, there's a mid-year review to assess performance. Policies have already been announced and funded. Any new policy will just be more settings, props, and audio announcements because they are unfunded. Already, you are struggling to fund the announced policies and promises. Desist from the temptation to announce new cities, new policies, and new projects. Ladies and gentlemen, a country cannot build growth on unspent budgets, unpaid contractors, disputed debt numbers, and jobs that exist only on paper. On Thursday, the MPP, through its minority in Parliament, will be in the chamber, measuring the minister's statement line by line against this government's own published data. The Ghanaians deserve numbers and not narratives. We thank you.
Ranking member on the economy, Honorable Obrempong Nkrumah, our no member of Parliament of Fancy Airebi, Anodi, Central for Ishemi, MPP Amanyoko, ya. Wamode chere niema huduo bi akoso ewo krom a aban candidate den so entisa ebi cocoa prices no even though say aban we atete prices so e de ama cocoa fo no bepem na cocoa farmers ni bi ewo ho a wamugususu because omonsan komusika. We are going to take these issues one by one. I want to emphatically state say cocoa problem ababeto apart from globally reduction e buy here world market cocoa prices cocoa problem it was created by the NPP. Because in the year 2023-2024 cocoa crop season, they made a projection of about 800,000 metric tons. And woman de kwaji loan. Wamukwa baby amubo besia edito cocoa no under Obrempong Nkrumah, under the former president and under Akufo-Addo, under Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, they made a projection of 800,000 metric tons of cocoa. Say eno ano mu betimi dia ba enti wo ma je hu sika say wo mo de ba Ghana no mo de aba beto cocoa abusia in 2023-2024 cocoa crop season after say wo mo kwaji loan a projection of 800,000 metric tons MPP for we no matimi supply cocoa no be 470,000 metric tons sika no so asa eti me no dey can say before 2024 ya to aba MPP for every adidie mu no na womu eka woma jade ato wo no production 800,000 metric tons womu kwaji sika eti me supply 470,000 metric tons no omu ja over 330,000 metric tons eka eri to cocoa board yeah mo wa no gusu kasa wo krom ha the cocoa board nko the MPP ye cocoa board ye biem ha we mbessew. Of course every sector under the former president Nana Akufo-Addo Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia was heavily mismanaged when it comes to their finances, when it comes to the managerial, when it comes to every aspect of that sector. It was mismanaged under Nana Akufo-Addo. And until then, Nkrofo nyina etwa kwan na womura Iyoko, no womura police, womura NIB, no womura special prosecutor. All the security agencies now office have been filled by MPP past officials. You don't even know what is coming. And nay, His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama ba and this abayaba me no dey say okwo world market a price a bag of cocoa asai ati. Well, last year, price of Montpellier John Dramani Mahama, and the man cocoa for say, Uko world market a bag of cocoa, say, I bet 2,857. No, me know what they can say, Uko world market so sati, and out of that 2,857, no, Montpellier John Dramani Mahama, I say, well, my cocoa can be your friend say 2,587. Cocoa can be one bag. Until 1 bag of cocoa be Okrani Adima Abai no Wakotono Abai in first year 300 Ghana cedis and one of them of fertilizer and one of them are wood inside and one of sign a produce near Madema so say cocoa scholarship square cyber back no out of that 300 Ghana cedis per bag Abai ni Benyano and no annual yes I say in the amount. But cocoa bag in the swat to world market. There's some Montpellier John Dramani Mahama say na cocoa a crafo, Wamukuma beto yam, no matimia decide to median inti, anti price in a season way, was the old price now what the man woman adding to your. And what are you telling us, MPP? Let's go to our neighboring countries. Cote d'Ivoire. How much is the price of bag of cocoa? Cote d'Ivoire. Etienne Ghana fwa no mo smuggle cocoa first say Cote d'Ivoire cotton if the Cote d'Ivoire price no was no obi ade aka o man mu. Ye ne kromo an say ana o Montpellier John Dramani Mahama together with the finance minister and this abai release sika and ma cocoa crache for so mo fen talk ya for cocoa and ye kwachi MPP party executives e wo buno say woman cocoa crache for ni bia ye one sikana woman fento cocoa wa no esan say Cote d'Ivoire de ne bu afunti woman 1 bag of cocoa price e wo Ghana wo di Cote d'Ivoire utimi to 2 bags etu woman jisikano ade awura Cote d'Ivoire etu Cote d'Ivoire no mo koto no mo di cocoa na ba Ghana wo breko a Ghana for cocoa e wo eye cocoa crache for wo mo ntu o ka MPP for And honorable, what are you saying? So the cocoa farmer is still crying. Now in Sankanisika, now over 330,000 tons of cocoa. Eka mu jade to cocoa board no. Wabreko makwaje besi a mudi sasika no. Aban we onye den wotua. Onye den wotua. And you are here talking about cocoa prices. And Krafom and Sankaya, Wamusu. Your vice president, who is now your flag bearer, Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, in 2024 media encounter, one of the journalists in Santrani Baku Bisan said, Your Excellency, cocoa board problem kasiaba beto, and then your vice president denied, so what them say problem, cocoa board. Well, problem be our crowd. One take rather, but Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia free power better chino, and then was so at a committee. No munkwakria for 1 year munkodin komo, na our position there, obetimi professor solution. Adiama cocoa for a friend of what in a few and one who say, well, how a cocoa board. Honorable, Monsieur my way be you. This I'm a bro for. No more begin be kasa de as a mo card ye be bebo mine ye be ba be dwam ha ye ba be kyerɛkyerɛm ye ba biem e de akyerɛ ye ma me mo market no ye papa no mo ye cocoa no wo mo ye farms no matter say this government is doing the most to make sure say wo majuma mo ye nfaso be ba so. And you people cocoa bag kodu bako 9,600 na mumma cocoa kuanino 3,100, a difference of 6,500 cocoa bag bakubia and Faswana and another Kokufado and Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. No, cocoa kuanino bag now kotonwa. In 2024-2023, now what kotonwa. Upon all the projections, any besia woman kwaji so mo beto man tinya ntwan fankono. Na onyam faso 6,500 on each bag of cocoa. No ama okuani no 3,100. Ni ani krom ha. Onabu kojo upon kroma aka ho asem. Eno de wura fi. Ye be kai Ghana for. Say mo cocoa bag no. Na mo ton ba ko bia mo nya 6,500 faso firi ho. No mama kwari na wafuru ni cocoa akodo o people so ati cocoa no abua ahata mawo no waso de abafie no 3,100 wabreko na mo sign ton fertilizer we reside any de ma o mo de cocoa adwuma de ma akuafo. What are you saying? Wo kroma ya mpini o hwe honorable mutie sua de mutie boa mo ho because say am fire who am ba for yan kan mo kura bi anhwe ye say Ghana for ntimi for say that so gidie ni awresem no ma MPP party ni bia wa wo my way yan hwe ne ye na bedi mu nsam anytime soon wo my Ghana everybody should forget it and sorry bio and MPP what's that ka borrowing asem borrowing MPP for every time be America me say said His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama abetina see any Jumedia wedi now for 1 year 7 months money year I will be uncle global market the bond market outside this country uncle Bob Bessia in the history of this country in the Fourth Republic even see that say abai beba betina say now 1 year 7 months no see uncle bond market onkwaje bond bi amfia bloche na mom ye local market no treasury bills ni ade no wo mo bobesia wo ho no mo de hihye ne emam anda kwaje ponkroma mo ana mo finance minister eje mmre wane nkokoro sika di wo kroma ama bi fa huhu ye menkan krofo ya Mr. Michaelado see wo di ma Mikado pharmaceuticals and you ana sama no hwe ne nkwa because ni sika no de ato bank nyina mo je and MPP and not banks are 9 billion Ghana cedis. Now, one dear abia, your friend is saying, one dear CSC or bank. I support your liquidity, no. I be before to me, I get them. Ken Nanaya Kuntu Groko for Yata, 8 million, 25 billion egu banks, no. Instead of Sanko 9 billion. No, Media Shomo banks. And what are you saying? Borrowing from Kwame Nkrumah Mreso, Wabda Kwame Nkrumah or Maya Fuma. Say what if I would yet at the amount of my Ghana no a free 1957 about him 1960 a republic about him 2016 and not the president of the republic John Dramani Mahama AC from na a car of my Ghana at the young public debt in Yanum and 120 billion Ghana cedis Now from 2017 up to 2025 January 7th, and Nana Akufo-Addo, the former president, together with Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia AC form no man use 8 years over 600 billion Ghana cedis in this country. Honorable Yana Muwe Fimu Huon. Besia Biani wa yase manjibi, Kulum bond, Bandai bond, Sumirai bond, Centenary bond, MPP for the bond that you 100 years in the Betria, MPP for. Why not borrow Simo? But under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and this NDC government, one must see a kana mujane two honum. Wagura moya di pino, aje nkokura, ane amre wasika, edi yano, ama fesikana momono, wamu tuyo moka, na nkomu ko fesikana wai. Ya kuro msika waha, ya bobe si ane asa, ni adane no, ni asa, ni tuya, ni adane no, ni abuwa wamua, mu MPP for under you, mu nkokura ne mre wasika di omu yano. And you are saying, say, borrowing. We are asking Kojo Ponkruma say, hey, Besia Ben Agana Bo. Under President John Dramani Mahama, Dr. Kasiala to Forsen, and this NDC government, you can say, ye Besia, Wamabo, or Medina non Casatra Sakake. O Casatra, you bet any tra. But under you, NDC for you, Besia, Mabo, and Fembrabo, Tinagana for you, say, you almost sold out this country to debtors. Eduma binana nanda Akufo-Addo na France. Never patch say, woman first sika who do ayabo Besia franchise under the MPP. And you are talking about borrowing. Arabo Chrono, and then you are saying so soft. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, MPP. Every contract be a MPP demand under their administration, 80 to 90% of them were so sourced, including road contractor who do awarding contractors. There was no dedicated fund to do those roads, but they gave them out on the source. Big push contractor who do a cost in a fan MPP for the chassis here, but Neskabia Nababia, woman Neskabia to Babia, they knew said they didn't have money, but they awarded those sole source contracts to people. And until now, the contract under the Sakoka. No way in Sanu Gani, Mimicro Mokuape Mai, Udu Jamaica so now the when it your friend is saying Cactus Creek Hotel, your friend say a bridge Jamaica so contractor will beg bus aquina so and will go so our quantity on one in the Sika yeah, Jibesiadi yeah, and before China kind of contract and every corner so you are talking about source. After Mumu source, baby, Ben, acquire him a multimillion Ukroma. Road to sign and a multimillion ever chroma. Mibisa honorable Kojo Ponkroma. Me say you tune in the other hole. Now Ghana Babylon and I dream at the hole. Bibia Bia Diamano. Well, who say there be MPP party and Yamano Quebeti Babatina Bemu Abuanan Koswadia Bakrowemu. By 2028. You better mo campaign message you Chroma and 24-hour economy say and our filling stations be ha no mo 24-hour economy that na NTNDC focus say filling stations no 300 and something yet 24-hour economy and yet true na na what that na say like Mahmoud Bawumia ka say chop back cry 24-hour economy that okay try but about the security and crofobenya sa rehemu no no de agya ne pump who filling station say and baby mechini tuo e won so magini sika nwane sometimes cry money tuo nkunu no ntiro and crofo ko wado say wo mu betimi aye adwuma anajo aton fuel with various fuel pumps no. What are you telling us? Eti crofo enye mo time and this is not in the 24-hour economy diaba. And as I say, I will say now, a new probably enya kukudro eton fuel anajo. Because we are back or treat you a rebet seat at a better, IGP better. What you will swear, Yadobako court, Uber Dam, Ubako prison. Said the Amoka Chama wood to me, Manity Ura bush, Echo boom, ya saying, you say forest. I dey go for my name 20 years, or them. What are you saying? COVID by under you as information minister. Sika saying, and yet you will chroma, say Kojo Ponkroma, money allowance. abuso me George media no so mfa ma wo yensan ko minority ho for minority caucus wo say sabre de mrase begam wo yi section 207 208 criminal law no se wo yi obi a wo mutimi gina so no mo de be chew no minority caucus in parliament sabre de ebe ya aban we wo mu ntwimfiri mu wo mu yin tontwere sade ebe ya sade wo mate wo mu nkola de agu TikTok wo mate wo mu nkola de agu Facebook and all the social media platforms no mu didi amampani fuatem egu wo mu fi no anke betimi akoso yenko tie minority caucus in parliament wo mu se me wo mu di tu gwa ebe to aso.
We are not saying that the repeal of this law should be a license for irresponsible speech. That is not what we are saying. We, the mighty minority, wish to completely be clear, because this point will be misrepresented by those who prefer that the status quo. We are not asking anyone to tolerate falsehood, insult, or recklessness. We condemn irresponsible speech and irresponsible publication in all its forms, whoever is responsible for it, and regardless of which party that person supports. A citizen who is defamed, insulted, or misrepresented is entitled to redress, and Ghana already provides it. A private citizen may sue for defamation in civil courts. A journalist or a media house that abuses its platform can be held to account by the National Media Commission. What we object is the use of the prison cell and the criminal record as the first resort for free speech that merely offends or embarrasses, rather than the last resort for conduct that genuinely threatens a person's safety or the public peace.
Afekra na mra no mo ba be hye mo kena. Section 207 section 208 eno criminal law no e ma ho kwan ma wo bi edidi atem eka kasafi e de threat ni ne ma to so a yetimi chi na fe na mo ba be hye mo kena. Honorable Alexander Afenyo Marken. And then you free. If you are not against, so will be ready the attempt akakasafia and why are your people seeking to repeal this your friend says section? Why should it be repealed? And what are the attempt they will go to cells, and of course going forward no, if they are found culpable they will go to prison. Sadia Camila the kind prison no go serve 1 year no, which is of course a buy kind make kind na eswama me dodo Camila 1 year na eswa because Kanawu ano ya NDC sotium your first branch executive no more than to how many years 10 years Kanawu was jailed for threats and insult. Amoso wa ye na not kwakufu ado aban ene ne mpanifo esere de your friend is saying Camila ye ya na tina Camila de akire 15 years nanka baumia be ya na say yase akwachini no nso de akire 18 nanka ye de omo nyina gum because of the young people so omo say new prison kranka be ya because they have decided say womu bu obi a wo krom ha no mu bedi nkrofo atem and why na nko repele sa asem why na repele mo nko repele mo fa mu 86 so say 87 members no mo repele sa section we mo repele na fa mu tun nkrofo ma engu social media ane TV ni radio so say womu ni de o mampani John Dramani ma matem wona na ire lordina mo amu repele sante sadia sa mra no mate se mra se bedwam from be se mo kena and it's a secret outside MP minority do bia wa no betra koso will be arrested including yourself. Afenyo Marken Martina Krowem atete Krow ya pansam no Mama Ghana ye mo bought to say a janka a wisia. Mama Ghana need a so sign because Ghana for GDA tum and your papa say ye ko na Afenyo Marken any MP before Mumra made it to me na mumedi your mind from 2016. That was the worst mistake this country ever made. aka president a wobem wodi 1 million vote over ebeye o mampani wodi it 8 years we are work on wo mampani obetu no wodi over 1.7 million vote ana asa bebetu na betra so asem we dey na ka kire wo we dey na ka kire wo mampani na obetu no with 1 million no one no the 1.7 million na asa ba etre say na dankwa Akufo-Addo's your friend is saying regime administration him be president of the republic Ghana for Makeno 38% wobra wodi president you results amunya 2024 in 2020 who results kura MPP nyai no mo de tina abanyam bio in 2020 why the who results no bapem na yemisa MPP ni bia ahina na nanda Akufo-Addo nyai no de yema pani is just a question. And what are you saying? Emra we yebesemo kina abuse enkohwe retakunadu dodo na friend mama 1 video we da bia me catch me producer Mr. Sante sanka sanyema we enka Obrempong men so me mpesa mebo nemom ya che retakunadu a wo friend ho mama 1 na nya na obi tifie ni woka adena wo mo chechecheche police for security agencies echechecheche mayo isa yankoni yankotwa retakunadu video ni mra nsam a waka no so woka kire wo papa so woka kire wo mame na nka wakoma beto yam dia ye be beto adwumedi ni so
ye kwasiaba etese lordina me ye kwasiaba me hu hwiam papa me kunu atena so many years na enso lordina me kunu kwafa amechi da wo enso lordina enam se na ha mu kankan ti ene ne hu kankan ene ne moto mu kankan ene woni good smelling scent nti no ne kunu bie so rough of
me ba chaw what ensam no wei ana fanyo market say emra ama ho kwan ama yakokoti abayo wei no wo mu ntwam omni abi before say yentwa sa mra num yenyin tontwere say de be yan kan krofo bi te say mami 49 years old yes wani ba next year obenya 50 years tie ensamwa the first lady of the Republic of Ghana what in the baby one cano enya ne hwe said the abayo afa phone no di mami nyami atem egun hufi why na fanyo market say yenya Ghana for MPP for a wo matu so say wo mu be di attempt say mami wo yenya wom munti na me call law school no na me minim say be ba be judge one day e wo krom ha na me bompa say bedu no na niema bi say no na ensibio uwura me court unya less than 15 years and nyame adom yes me dem rabia wo wiase ebe jelu 15 years be bia me de wakose ne kura no awia be hu awia once a week no wa hwawia said the beya wadwene da utiri mu no. This is politics, this is democracy. If you don't agree with the person, why the insult? Can't you just express your candid opinions without this terrible insult? Can't you? And way, I think you can say, Debbie, Yankum, Nankrofo, and from Wuni, Wabreko, send some potoi and some time, and some way, Sabribia Mitia, no Obrempong Mekuma, Ayam Yaomimu. Nankom yet. Eti Mama 1. Security aso mama 1 mu mfane famra kwan so wodi fo a prison sentence bi esene fata no mfema no no nkonko dam na ye hweso de se de Camille edi kan no e ma foforo abusia ye to dwumede nsuma e wa ha na fe yankọ yanim abi before akasa omkasa omkan se jama utumi juada oko court kra na court ade ne judgment abeto abontin na ne lawyer enka no ho eti eba ne sen kura na court chama untumi lawyer enka no ho na court timidi sa judgment we ebe so chama untumi akwakodem enti eno na ya atanchia ye kwan ya omafa so no mri chama untumi akwakodem a oye politician tia na ye se bibia wa ye bro so ana chese ensema omokeka no yankoni yankochi omomra eba ebeto adwumedi ni so
a huge misunderstanding of the law. If that is really their position, then they have really a great misapprehension of what the law says. and probably of what actually happened in court. Lawyer wrote a letter that I won't be available. At the time he said he won't be available, he has filed a motion and he has filed all the necessary processes that have to be filed. And then on the day, he sends his colleague lawyers from his firm to hold his brief. And the colleague lawyers came to court. So it wasn't as if Wontumi was sentenced in the absence of a lawyer. He had, I think there were about 4 lawyers for him from Atachen's firm. So unless you are saying that without lawyer Atachen, all the members in the firm are not proper lawyers to represent, but as far as we know, they are also lawyers. And there's no rule of law which says that unless the person who filed the motion comes to move it, the court cannot decide. Otherwise, imagine, no, something, let's look at the other side. If that were the rule, that only the lawyer who filed the motion or the lawyer is the only person who can get a case for it, it would be simple. I will commit a crime, I'll hire a lawyer and tell the lawyer to travel anytime there will be a decision, and the court would have to wait for him. That is the other. So I don't think they understand this. What they are saying doesn't exhibit a serious understanding of the law, and or they don't understand what happened in court. One of the two is what that opinion or that conclusion is suffering from.
So the Deputy Attorney General Justice Simsai and someone who do MPP for air cancer na Wontumi the lawyer kra any court wo ansana the Accra High Court edis judgment neighbor eno ana Justice Simsai echechemu say obeka ya Wontumi Monday ya yewie ni lawyer kasai anu wo kire say Wontumi ebie enwuma bebre ama nkrofo ye ama employment aba enti senka e wo say judge ne kra hwe. So who was that man? Say na the lawyer ni who was that man? Because that was how they address nipa na wakasa and say one only to me lawyer we them because attach here wobeji assembly free and the appear could be lawyer and the appear could be in seven was in ba graduation wo UK it was ja to me judgment in work UK attach here. And this country cannot and never wait for anybody again. This is the research agenda. Account one account. If you are supposed to go to prison, you follow. If you are supposed to vomit all the monies you have stolen, in addition to whatever sentence you might get from corrupt ways, in due time. Anything a tribunal neighbor no. Tribunal ni yeshe. Ama penny John Romani mama. Fansasha siye papa yanko yanim. I was so my way fan and tema pebi difra. I was corruption. Chrono proye kankai. If edokro wo man wo bra eye amemu ababetina wo man so anase political party ababetina wo man so obebu no e wo se ba fom e wo se suro bi kom tia bi before say ma wo ka say na lawyer bi Wontumi lawyer kra ni ho ana ye de ne court ana yakobue na ten no justice sim say ente sa lawyer se bai wo the lawyer se ba court eni ti no omwe ni nya lawyer ne kasa ya wono so gina mu kasa edema Wontumi no enti abi before asem omka no ehurudu hwada asem ni bia efu ye yentum futuro mu krofo ani no ebia no abusa ye to so na fe ye nkohwe weina ka mempese meye ka mempese mebo. Okay, odi ye nko we sumra the MPP womo say Wontumi jail ya wakoi enyade a womo edwo wo makoma no mani nyi ho etioma to the 25th day of July up to the 30th day of July 6 days edesi was say womo baba be demonstration chenchelenche kase pa ama Ghana ni wiase afa na nyina hunu say ampa womokoma enjo chama Wontumi 20 years of the akwada fiase no so yankan isemu a ewo omo press release yibi na fe yanto adwedi no so. Or see MPP to hold 6-day demonstration over conviction of Chairman Wontumi and 20-year sentence. The New Patriotic Party MPP announces its intention to embark on a 6-day peaceful demonstration across the country over the conviction of our Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Entribu Esiako, Chairman Wontumi, and the 20-year prison sentence handed down by the court. The demonstration will commence on Saturday, the 25th day of July, 2026, and end on Thursday, 30th day of July, 2026. This action is being taken to express our strong dissatisfaction with the judgment and to demand justice, fairness, and respect for due process. The party calls on all members, supporters, sympathizers, and well-wishers to come out in their numbers and join the peaceful demonstration. Further details on the venues, routes, and daily activities will be communicated in due course. Let us remain peaceful, law-abiding, and united in this cause. Signed, Justin Fribon Kodia, General Secretary of the MPP Development in Freedom. Omobwa, you don't develop anything in freedom. You don't even know about development. And Ghana for, as usual, Mebunu, MPP for Baya, Wamu Jam, Sampam, 8 years. Said the Wamuko Rente, Ghana for the Wamuko Yokono. These are the same you to AP Ombeko the MPP for. Because if you are a well-meaning Ghanaian, what's your memoir say? Now we shall say, Amanyo ko betinemu wabeyan to tuye betimi aboa no man we afa ntema pa bi de efra. Now we the His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wo ye na wode mra eye adwuma wo ye ntotoye ya kwan so ye health sector, ye hospitals ene niema hodo beboa no man we afa ntema pa bi de efra. Na nei MPP for to sa na sesem we akyerew. Na wo be sori anopa adware abo shu abo perfume se wo nante akoba bia MPP fo hia se wo mo ye demonstration because chema wo tumi akọ forest mu akọ bu niagu fom etu galamsey asai niema hodo ma se amene wo de ka se samra boy people bia ni wo bio chema wo tumi aka ni niagu fom ensu ahodo diabetes wo mu nyina nso ensu toketiketi bia age se yi na ewura samambo kom because be pa hodo a etwa samra boy ho ahia anke beti aso nsuo mu wo chama untimi aka nyina gu fam. If you mean well for Ghana, leave them. Womo di womo sika no memo 150 cedis ma fan koto banku 200 cedis now fan show bottom say udi MPP fuachi because chama untimi aye galamsey asay nsuo asay forest ama sabre eno ade na konwie afiase enti wo Ghana ni wo sore no abo bet e de akire say wo kona chema wutumi wakoye de amano mo ye no 1 year odem 2 years odem 10 years odem age 20 years no so eno kura no the case stand on nimiri enei ye yi ni fi prison man about the first appearance of the case and also ebubo na years ni be we ka eye Exim Bank sika what the fraudulent document ekwaji wo Exim Bank so the koyefuo no one find yefuo no ye plea bargain no the Attorney General rejected the plea bargain because of all my ye say come de kwakotu esika no say it's not enough for that particular case. Koko road contractor wodwa chema won to me je especially in Ashanti region and its environs ati hu sika wanye eno so da ho eti demonstration no mo hihye mu wo buko mo ba ne kase wei ene won to me ahase abusia yenko de won to me na aban etusu wo krom ha na wo fa so nsem a wo kekaye wo de ne tumi agina so ye wo krom ha no ye mo kakra ahwe ni efen kaka ye ho ye be beto adwuma di ni so
obiet mi ho na ye ba bia ye droi samaki swai Yahuwa ila honu Yahuwa eka amen we are hata Yahuwa amen Allah hika bika luvika amen uvika na vasika uvika ni yeduka tode yasa amen tode yasa amen tode yasa tode yasa amen me say obiet mi ho na ye
yes kasa no Hebrew so not Hebrew
obiet mi ho na ye the pickups mama now kwa usro usro say the other year me nyina no still have me that's who hold me captaincy say I still remain as a captain no I can say me ba konta mine me guru na matwaro ye na me akwa wu me usro me wo ye president kwa na oba national security for no mo negotiate with me asan waba now you negotiate with me asan wa enter now who just want to be a team kitwa who say ubetime no man na desi and this for no na me no ye na this for to make say obi to be no o pa na mo nya ye omo ye one na ye do me want me dia oboa want to me nsro na problem run na want to me mama say me no me anu gira ho ya fa so da for do wachi na hwesa me wo wachi me a say me buy a year and a juma ye we will push ubatimia pushing unto me now even illegal ni legal no, what is the difference?
Bernard Entwibuasiako, chairman, Wontumi, the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the MPP, Wabra, Nana Bain, and Adanko Kufado, Eyo Mampani, Ewo Kromha, said you're not in the Coco, Eya, because he had the backing of the President of the Republic of Ghana. Into Wabra, even the former Lands and Natural Resource Minister, Samuel Abu Jinapo, actually, Kratademo Mampani, said, Chairman, Wontumi, Eya Galam say, the former president of the Republic of Ghana and another Kufado as original PCSO Ekachre Ghana Yinani Riasi Yina say Akunta mining is not and never involved in illegal mining. And then you actually mount me, shall do yan who chroma or brana power also, then nature baby or war. Yadia, Momayan tree boss in the Riasi Ewoda. Abisia. Yabeko Victory Gale Mecha Wabana before Abekono Army Yao Ewo Kumasi ko your friend say Kofodia Army Yao Kofodia or Pamadie or your champion say da Ochina Mesha Atadi and the Ababechro Pamatadie kama area chemcha Army Yao Michao Ewe baby or Yanko Victory Gale Mecha Emra Ebusia Wamu Drono Yare Waho Dwa Esa Adanse die Chino Woto Yari Uma ko pebi ne bebo.
Enya Victory Gallic Mission na watini dinatiati say na edro nitie na no pasem ne say edro we adwuma eye titru pa ne say ebeboa ananna ne srade e wo ni padua ni muntin mu ama ohu atọ kura de dika obabi wo ho a okonfikyire a ema edro a wunya ye Victory Gallic Mission ebi kura ho obekọ a ewie wo ansa na ba eye victory e na wunya victory no ma na busumi biara ubenya ufichira akwa empa ho kra eno de akira obi wo ho aniti ne ta adwa no obi wo ho ye adwuma kakra bia no abre na nakoma bɔ ne periperi ni nyina ye mogya entimi mfa akoma nu kwa adwen mu eno ne kofa sa ade ne ba odofo mesrew so wo ho na wonsem ta adwew ebia wonsa no sei ana wonamro mu na esi fom no kra ewew ana ayatufo se de edi fom ato mpaboa mu a eye victory na me kan fom a unum victory asa no ma ye bobɔ so nyina no ebegyae de oto ho anadwo a wentini na wohia victory emframa nyankopɔn de ama yɛn se yɛn humi wo de wo humi a na wo tie so o bra eye victory na betimi aboa wo ye wo bi wo so a wo ho ana ne yɛm ahye no a obia na ne ka obia nya ne hwe obi wo so na koma bɔ ne periperi ni nyina mogya ne ntimi ne afusa ne ye wo ni padua no ɛpro awunya yɛ Victory Garlic Mixture de watwa bra ya bia ya na se kokodue ne nam no no ye ne basa victory and American for when your victory be no more. Ebe say doctor what to draw so senia. Ubetimi anom victory na ka wadro won na ne se wadro no na aben ma meet e biasa no anom we so na aben no anom victory no so achi meet e biasa we ne sa bibia ba de kama ma se wona se tata we agya ho adwuma mesraw edura me kan fo ma wa ye victory garlic mixture mesraw nipa ne bia dance ya ye pese ye fa o ma dance na tie na se wo so koto a ubenya sa dance kro no a
ntwe mi mpedwa mi ntumi ni di mi yare so mane ko be 12 years ni man no ndro kan mojeduru 5 minutes de trim matutu ana se na meti tv ntumi na mehwe ne mu se moto ndro bi esi victory heba victory garlic mixture ne mi mtoduru sa ba moduru no asa moduru no eye papa ntumi ni di o mi din sa no me di afi bi no mo se di ya na afi insan afi bi no ntumi di bi afi mi di ma edubone sa bi semi anu so no ntumi di anu so mi be mu sa afi de anu so be du bi no ntumi di bi afi mi hu de me nya me won ti edo no kan wo tv so a na me kutu bi ni me edo no anopa eni awiane anwure no ande no si afi nyampara mi no adibia ntumi di mi si afi na tola tamiko ya black masa modro no die edoni na nyame nhira mo
aje me pa me problem ye menstrual pains nda ne kakra me so ti me nyame menses no boso me ma me bre pa me brankasa me timi to tondro no na ne se man ti se yesi ye bi dro ha na makoto be bia me we timi fa ka ekọ obi kru so ekoto bi dro me timi no bi tese na victory ni in fact I don't know minim die wo mu die me ko tobi me tie advert no TV so sada na me sorry anwunwe na me ko toye na dana me say ade yi to me padi mu no mo ja tropa yi to me padi mu ti me twa to me phone so kula say ha adwene a enka me de betuma ka ho na mo ahwe te say so one way ya kwa wakati na bia me ya bo hye na me no maduro bi te se efi sada na yi sa moja toa no to me padem no me nya mezi se no maduro e ma me hu sa moja se bi like say kwoti te se ni nyina flow kama to victory tie mintimi enja ento ho te to de bia na mo ba abasha mo me so abasha na eduro ne me di hu adanse
obi si me de cholesterol sa de bone na aba mi nipadua ma beje atenase wadro ye victory garlic mixture se wunya victory ni no ma cholesterol no se ne nani e density bia no victory be yi ni nyina afi nipadua no odofo wo pedia to anama ne 024 25 45 633 024 25 45 633 ana 020 129 3280 020 129 3280 eya victory mkunimdie ne ade bremo
Abuja, Messiah Wakwaba Kase part about TVSYZ, and we are also live on the power 97.9 FM. Inside Politics, Jumedi Sunye, and Kopem 6 p.m. Ebebon on Sama Hudu Trego or Mangana, the Nesene Fata se won subit me nya honta se, and then you may yabomodeni, the sense me, somo, ewasa, akonya kesie, you see to call Facebook, I am platforms, at power 979 FM, TVXYZ, Facebook. Wabomodi ahwe Jumedi ni bidi wadwen chere ato ase me pemno e be ken kan dia ma YouTube nso XYZ broadcast na ho nso obeje bre na fe Jumedi yi wode wo ho aka ho na yenyina yetimi edi abom Nyankopon enhyira wa mempreda midin edi NK Obrempong Malenka was 20 Okada 247 Aba Okada 247 a new app Okada enkwa hu adwuma na omo ye se opese wo nko ba bi ana opese omo deliver food package bibia amfama wa fast and the most reliable app ubetimi enye Okada mana deliver services in na ede ama wono aye se wo download Okada 247 na wo mudi sa adwumadi ni ma wo na de e de wo mo ho ne se wo matete om riders ni ye nti no wo mudi traffic regulations ni nyina so pepe traffic so kokko obetwam oba be fa wa okuta helmet mienu wɔhyɛne deɛ wɔma wo deɛ de atena so for safety sɛ bɛyɛ ne mfa akwanhyia bia ɛmba ti bɔmɔden na download Okada 247 app no se CIA amene wo de ka sei na hyase sɛ wo be use wo services no frɛ wo wo office wo fie ba bia wo ye order na ride ne beba na baba be pick o de opeso deliver ma de opeso de bre wo aduane package obeye ni nyina de ama sa pepepe na bibia atimi aye kama nti download the Okada 247 app no App Store na say Play Store na afei sabre de eni omo nhyase eni djuma na abehunu sampa asema na make no no krepa Okada 247 no say let's go safety proudly Ghanaian sa ubenu musio ama wakoma eri ato ye mo a ex natural mineral water de nti na make sa eno ni nsuo bakwa Ghana has say amene we ka say enuane nro ahodo bia e wo se nsuo timi nya na ebo wankase wapomudi ho ban no ex natural mineral water e wo say enuane nro ahodo ni bi nti wonom a wo sa ahotoso no sa pomuden e betena oni paduam na abere bia no wanya hoden akonnwuma so abobraji ska gubotom ahwe abusuafo no nti biara a wode wani bekire Melcom anase minimart bia ye tonsu mpacho ubenya ex natural mineral water na wato bi na wankasa ene abusue kuo ni nyina no mode mo wato ex natural mineral water so abiri bia mu hia nsu sembe no de ma ne yesa so obeye party obeye wedding conference me pacho nipa dodo eba ni nyina hye so se ex natural mineral water na ode serve o ma ombenya hotoso se wo munum nsu pa ebebo omapom den ho ban ede amomo so we shop na first time I water sansemi ni na wo nsuo yi bia tu de agum na so wato wa frɛ numbers amede tudwa no ombejo so no mama ex natural mineral water nsuo yi bia tu na so de agu shop atom 059 6273546 059 6273546 na 059 6273547 059 6273547 ex natural mineral water simply natural. We are live on Power 97.9 FM and X TVXYZ. Yanko Power Specialist Seba Hospital for Aso FM Rebusia. Woman ra womo kwanya womo de enkyerɛkyerɛ pato wode ama Ghana for na omapom de yetimi agina brane. Yanko hwɛ momra ya be beto adwumadi so.
Awusia ya mo akwa Power Tambre any Power Specialist Herbal Hospital. Yɛde nkyɛfia sɛ Dr. Panya oda hospital na doctor akosia adu aya ho de bobi bia ogebre na ohwɛ Power Time. De bia nsema ka nyina ne sa dance a nkrofo difa power ho abrebia TV so radio so internet ene emia hodo no onso be ka dansirifo no bi Power Specialist Herbal Hospital do na fa last stop ye Kumasi ya won crime ena ye water cra de Kumasi ofeyase ye ni Jasper Flint Station di nhwani mu wo aputu ja contrast kwan so Lake Road ena ye wo Accra wo kwabenya ACP kwan sare block factory no edi nhwani na fe takra de wo Anaje Estate Customs Road ye ni single washing bay no ensu di nhwani ye numbers no ayemiensa Fabubia ne frɛ ofra branch na ebe ono nema direction aba ho na wabaji wayaresa numbers ne 0555 79 78 78 0200 38 3831 and 0244 54 4422 Monday to Saturdays any day Sunday penny day every holidays ye dwuma e ye branches nti ba bia wo bia ene ya de bia sha wo ho acha wo de chinchina wonya no aduro no ba bia ba ya last stop e Power Specialist Herbal Hospital wo ba labo papa bia wo hia se ma ya no ba ya de firi be hwe mu so wo hia se ma wo ye scan wo hia se ma wo ye x-ray bibi bere asese ma wo ye ne hu de akoso ni peduem ne be ye ansa na de do account da bia me ka se ye treat the cause of the symptoms no ne mo ye treat just symptom. It is all the symptom biba wakasa wahana yo ya behwa niema ahodo a ebetimi sa symptoms na ba ne aye ni nyina na afi attack the course no atuade no asama ho 20 power nyame adom ya manage ade o ya hospital ho ya sai ade etu asenti ba bia obi ane ade bia ode chinchina che no ba bia sesa wokọ eye Power Specialist Herbal Hospital and then they kai a wo Power Time what test hepatitis B positive wonim say wo hepatitis B ana ye okunu aye oyere aye oba aye onua bi aye papa na o maame ema hepatitis B ade no enkuno ebra power specialist hospital hepatitis B ni master aye power tumrikabra baby e be fru mojam baby a hepatitis B be call negative e de amount aye power specialist hospital baby a ye wardan sidie sampa ya de ne timi to ase fru mojam mu aye power specialist hospital baby a yaja award Ghana eni amono no chesa ampa hepatitis B ade no hitimi samano call negative aye power specialist hospital ti baby a obi a so what test positive and share them na insu to recover power specialist hospital Kumase and crime na fe eye takrade o fatty liver o liver enlargement o liver cirrhosis brabo no ayesra de ma woni nyina aye very yellow woni padwe ni nyina wa ya hoya o yefunu na hono sense liver na hono o yefunu adendende liver no e bon kaye da bia me kasa ansa na bo so yefunu na hono no e so liver na sini say kwam enti se ne woni say o fatty liver o liver enlargement o liver cirrhosis wako hospital wako scan ni akasa ansem o ya kirewa baabi asesa woko na okonya yaresa e power specialist hospital o de na kidney stones and na kidney cells una nyina tatai ebre bia firi se why very weak lower back o se sechi ho aye wo ya ahyehyew o ho hwenye ye kidney stones kidney cells tumeka bra power specialist hospital Kumase and crime anase eye takrade wo ya ba ma wo Johnson sam no enkoye kakra bi na Johnson do kwa akitu bi na aba wo chima ansa na Johnson aba wo Johnson wi atenka sa Johnson bi akam wo Johnson wi ni moja di akire bo kwa de ba ni nyina yi moja nko ya na wa ya se etimi se tens into Johnson no intimi emma bo kwa so betesa Johnson de no just wa Johnson hu nyina wie mesro ebetima your prostate ebetima your blood and cystitis ebia your kidneys ebetima your ureter na so urethra and now you're on to tell infection intina oba power nya brehwa sa ne mani nyina inti sa symptoms we brehwa niema hodo a ebetimi sa symptoms kro no aba no na fi attack the course no atu ade no asa ma ho ato baby a obi ane ade bia titu bia no me se fabra power specialist hospital Kumase and crime na fi eyetakra the frame 0555 797878 0200383831 and 0244544422 Monday to Saturdays and a day a juma also and a how aduane to yema your problem wo chika sen mu ya wo ya hihyo ya wo hwenye ye ya na obofro bitime fesa osanti obo no nyina yo ya de kopie wa chutanya heartburns wo didi na aduane jejabo indigestion misro to me cabra power specialist hospital nyamiadum doctor akoso aduaya de dusunkru bia ba ye fe no aduaya SK aduane that TV no so no aduaya SK just stomach care ekro bia wa ye funu mu say ye duodenal ulcer say peptic ulcer wunya bia ba bo na to ulcer na se be kumkro ni nyina ama so ho atimi ato to me ka nebra aye typhoid na how typhoid aye ade ba akwo budi agro betimi akum typhoid what na tan betima your surgery and one betuete onsunu nyame amoa wa ne wa nya du papa free power ye be your surgery wa onsunu no mu typhoid betimo tipaya na odin wonu ba your no apostle na ba your mre ya na abofunu kura wotime fe aye typhoid the symptoms no ebi no typhoid betimo wa bo wa typhoid betimo rashes agu ya na onipadua na se heat bi wom ya na honam hyehyew typhoid e was symptoms no typhoid so ya de ba ko a esai pa baby a unam bia betime nya typhoid so what tested typhoid positive we hear color mixture be boaw na atuade no asen 10 man what me ato what tested malaria positive we hear aduaya malamis what if you be a chap kwa be ton heba do bia ye no ni nyina ye pure heba ye ni ye a food and drugs authority register jatum e dia mayen ko kata so ani gusu say ya na ade a che ntumi nda de no de won mukura won tere de so tia na ete baby abeko hospital bia na esu moja so ate we hear aduaya herbal tonic pibi na emwa obowa na wi ahwa ni moja ewo mu wakoma bo se kim wanya baby anso ana kwoti atofom ya na home esoro problem bia wo chest ho yɛma ɛyɛ cough care herbal mixture yɛfrɛ no chesty cough wakoma na bɔ gidigidi nyinaa no ɛbɛgyae kama wakoma no bɔbɔkɔɔ ama so so ho atumi atɔ yɛwɔ gyiri ka gyiri bɛma bi wara ne risuro no ɛyɛ male vitality wonya bi abɛbɔ bɛyi ntini mu nyinaa ma mogya no atumi akɔta ntini no mu na bɛma no atumi gyina so te sɛ bɛma mu a ɛsɛ onya herbal mixture immune system booster ne de ka ho de a kyɛ sɛ baabi awudi ama wo baabi anam bia ne adeɛ bi a ha bia no hwehwɛ power specialist hospital kyakwan yɛwɔ dua ya ointment ho woyɛ adwumaden woyɛ carpentani woyɛ masoni woyɛ fitani wakɔyɛ adwumaden aba honam nyinaa yɛ ɔya pɛ warm water bi dware faduro bi twitwi baabi a akɔda bɛda kama de bɛkye no na ho atɔ na ho ayɛ de otimi akɔ adwuma so kɔmpɔ ɛhyɛ ominim yɛmfa sɛ kan ka bɛma odura bɛna ne nyinaa afiri hɔ ama ho atimi atɔ aware for matena for 12 months awɔ no ma yɛ problem betime afiri bɛma ne bia bɛma no low sperm count ebi ɔba no ovarian cyst ɔba no fibroid meningitis no tubes no ayɛ inflamed bibi gara siwa wɔ no kwan no mumienu nyina mamra ne nhwɛ bia problem no wɔ ne solve na power bi senya na organ na bi enso so yadeɛ bi atete bi apampa bɔ ne na wɔnum halitosis bad breath and kankan ana ya sciatica oto ase atwetwe denden no de bra wodo na tia fama asade ta wo na ase na ona nyina yɛ titiri ona nyina yɛ tofo so ohia sɛ yɛ massage e ba yɛ massage nso so kama bone fracture do mpenu mabu pain bra power specialist hospital yɛ Kumasi won crime ɛna yɛ water crowd Kumasi ofe yase yɛ ni Jasper filling station di nhwɛ no mu wɔ aputo ja kontra se kwan ne so Lake Road ɛna yɛ wɔ Accra wɔ kwabenya ACP kwan so ne block factory no edi nhwɛ na fe takra de wɔ Anaje Estate Customs Road yɛ ni singa wɔ Shimbe no so di nhwɛ no fra yɛn 0555 797878 0200 3831 and 0244 544422 Monday to Saturdays and the day Sunday penny day maybe holidays yeah juma your branches to nti will be an bra nyame adoma yaresa ho yado ase se bia algebra na ohwe power time nyame adoma da sane sabre yanso yade apobde ho sam no ebebra.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. Natural mineral water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
Hi. Now let me tell you about Safari Valley Eco Resort, the first of its kind in West Africa. Upon your arrival, you are introduced to your butler, who plans your itinerary.
We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park.
So many activities, all in the same premises. Visit the gym or the stables, they have it all. At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife and how to interact with them.
They used only electric vehicles here. This creates a serene environment. I'm told it's over 1,000 acres. My cabin here sits on 2 acres with a large terrace space overlooking my private swimming pool. Now this is royalty. They have their own farms, thousands of fruit trees. I can also have my lunch here at the waterfall. Quite a beautiful place you have here.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
The serene environment fits into the goal of the school, which is simply to provide excellent educational foundation for your ward's development before they commence primary education. At first glance, clearly you will see why the school is called Hebron Hills International School, as the building stands tall overlooking town. With a Montessori style, we have experienced and dedicated staff and trained teachers. Our small sizes classrooms are meant to enhance teacher-focused approach where children get one-on-one attention from the teacher. Hello there. We are open at 7:30 a.m. and school closes at 2:30 p.m. After school care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., while early drop-off can be arranged at 6 a.m. Hebron Hills International School is located at Midye off the Nsawam Road. Locate us with GP postcode GW0688 GA West and GPS code 06884870. You can contact the school and make further inquiries on 050-876-2375 or call the office directly on 0302-918768. Email us at hebronhills.school@gmail.com. Hebron Hills International School. Excel and shine.
Na ede na ya obayi a oda forma so ne yafunu emunumuni.
Oh, Mr. Entry, also yare ya titi be benfie pi nanso ne yamo nyono da. Se me che onu ahodo amato a me hunu hwe a ebe ya nwanwa.
Menyi ni se what ulcer tamfo Haxa capsules any Haxa mixture yanum bom kotia ulcer no bia ma no anom. Anka ne ho ato no dadaada. Ulcer dro de eno ne Haxa capsules any Haxa mixture.
Akom ni nchiremu.
Ulcer ye kura eto yefunu ene ensunumu. Etuma wo yefunu ekeka wa. Wogire wo ho a enyi. Ulcer etumi ema wo ye cheko ebra wadidi awie. So how eye ulcer de a compare Haxa capsules any Haxa mixture nanum bom na ho ebeto.
Pedudu etu a ko Okanshi Drug Lane, Kumasi Dani Herbal, Takradi AA Mensa, Anafre 020-3822-855. Apefo, abatan ya wama won mofra no fo, ene mofra woni mfiedu mienu enka ho. Haxa capsules ene ne mixture.
Ulcer tamfo, edie age edwadie nkratoyi yi atom.
Okada 247. Efe nipa sign deliver parcels.
First no me so no pana me kwa adwuma se ya. Atum adwendwen. Asane traffic nti. Efi se menya Okada 247. Me duntam abribia.
Don't just get there on time. Okada 247, that's right on time. Okada 247, it is the best.
Okada 247, or you safe pa, everyone are CCR na waba. We're disappointed so that Mr. CCR on the number.
They be having pay transportation air affordable. Okada 247, and no name choice.
247, it is the best. Okada 247.
Download Okada 247 app na our phone so. Say Android and iOS. Okada 247. May am fa unko. Amo bambo kwanso.
Okada 247. It is safe.
If I cry na menyisika, edia ye mefui.
Ehinfa pa na menya bosia edia tre medwuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre me busia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yamamu akwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hye ya hodo bi te se dwadifo abosia, ekuokuro bosia, susu account. And that's all our savings account. Me bada chain savings account. And then the keka ho. Suhum Rural Bank was 034229186. Now one so to miaka say.
Suhum Rural Bank. Ama ene mayeka una.
Suhum Rural Bank. Enti me pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank, growing our heritage.
Obrempong eye adwumada. Eboa eyam aduane. Eboa eyi insa free ni peduanim. Na eboa woni pedua ma etena ho yie. Nanso wonim se niema a yedi na yenom. Timi ma brebo ye adwumaden sen pote.
Me hu da. Me brebo ye adwuma pa. Ebia se me ntumi ye bibi boa me brebo.
Ani
And anointing what the left feet from the Moses Clinic, we have our center about herbal food supplement. What sits in pa the barber, ama a year jumayi.
Now, any juma.
Fatopa yenu, anopani and you na eboama obrebo ye dwuma yi sene be ya ebetimi anyam aduane awodi esiesie ni peduane mu eyi mu finsi yi
eno na me brebo kia pa
Ubenya Left Kid or pharmacy, herbal shops, ne supermarkets are ebeo. Sa wo pedudo so to a 0244 06 8447. Left Kid, wa wo brebo, wa wo ni pedua. Edro yi enye ma apemfo, e ma ema omomanofo, ne mmofo a wonya mfie dumie. FDA age dwedie krato yi atum.
Kwaba kese pa de ba TV XYZ ne pa 97.9 FM inside politics jumedie ana yeguso a yede nsema hodo atwegu o man mu nyina na efa sa akonya iso na yede asomo live on pa 97.9 FM and TV XYZ midi de enkel Obrempong midi jumedie ho cha medi ama wonnem na before ye betwa ene ye jumedie ne so no me wo asem to bi a me pesa me use be 2 minutes at the address and it's going straight to the NDC. Recently, I've been getting messages, I've been getting calls, especially from the grassroots. Calls and messages are on even my social media handles. Oko Facebook, TikTok, and Obrempong messages are no. And nina ye aggrieved grassroots for nano mijina sakonya iso na mene the NDC government led by His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama say etu ahine ne asi ahine fo na ewoda ho no bebre kasa bebre ye adwene say dabi sade na omuhunu niema na omote niema se no eye achia Debbie Ameka, me personally, I can't afford for NDC to lose power. Because as it stands now, NDC is the only political party I will be dani abaya working in Ghana for. NDC. Metuaba kufuor time. Metuaba. Your friend is saying, Atamos by Metuaba. Metuaba, President John Dramani Mahama, about to a share from Kufuor by 2000 Benina Mitubi. Metuaba nebi. It is a meka and ne, me trema ginisa Ghana ni, me trema ginisa Centronia. As it stands now, said ye woman ya ye who say, no, NDC, any abanya, watch the sampa or Ghana for Nemum. A 2 a sia hine for a sa lie, etari posters. A year a Jumano, they are crying. To the sense, there are some of the grassroots crowd, Mabombo de Diomatu national security, so. But Omupe over a year ni Yentio Mokaye. Some of them want to Omuframi, no money make a message sebano, anoding. I don't have the answers. Eti a disready a major grassroots in nemu. I catch the NDC. Abanya Tisui and His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama say, one way bo dede, one a boy, a Sunday party buy because when we did any say NDC beboa mono, Munkama ni shebi. Your Excellency, I think say was say, won't be a betting me a shesani man because precious ne de bani too much. Messages na minyana no den dodo. Messages na no thing. One musuno Munkama ni hwe grassroots no na abatoɔ no 2028 person yaba in as much as say generally ɛwɔ man Ghana empuntunyuma mo ye no of course We are all seeing them. The roads, the health facilities, the schools. Any measures are made to us or may ebetimi afọ akọnanim. Nanso, one way ka party ne ho no. Esu omu nsu ne keka wo mo kekem no. Ebi kura da national security so. Matimi abomodin di o mawuram, wo mo pay ma. Amampari, wo mo bre, wo mo su. Muntwa mani hwe dan ho kakra party, muntwa mani hwe dan ho kakra. Empanifo bebre eboa. Se okọ gold border, owura sami jamfi, ne de kakra bi a wo tumi, oh hold the base down. Enti mumwa ni yentimi hwe da, riske ama NDC abanwe free amemmuo mu sesia dabi. We can bear it. Eti atu ahene ni asi ahene fo na esu no. Mampedi mesrew. Ani NDC aban ya desrede grassroots no akasa esu wo ho saa. Enke Obrempong sa wo so ye grassroots president apa ka kire Mampeni John Dramani Mama. If se be a wote no wo kan obete. Se wo kan NDC aban bete, aban mu mpenifo bete, party mpenifo bete. Mo hwe grassroots no. Kakra bi a mo betimi. Mo fam mo ampagya wom. Eno ana to da bia na MPP for AUSU we no me ka kire MPP for baso krofo a wo so masene pia wo wura diaspora say ye ka say ekorozi ye koya pay for fun e wa brochire ni ba bi MPP wo opposition but on benye discussion NDC. I am being very blunt and factual here. Ye kwa brochire ni akorozi fans ba bia wo be fa ene kona MPP benye discussion ade asene NDC. Even though NDC were power. Eti mo hwe grassroots no mo mama ni ko mo ho. Mo mua wom, mo pejo mebi wo mo pe. Bibi kakra bi no mo de apagya. Mampani mesro. Ma desre de a grassroots no de ato manim as a grassroots president. Anam de ato je binim sa wo hwe kura no a opani bi hwe. Obebo amane se asemu no Obrempong ababeka no madi hu djuma e de aboa. Wo kwa the Greater Accra Regional Command ho Chief Kwashi wa biem awiei o se Enke Obrempong me hwe meja no nko o ye adwuma. Chief Kwashi Nyankopon wa nhira wa mempene da woni police mpanifo akase a munyina mo wo Greater Accra Regional Command mo bo ban ahwe se ahobambo ene niema betoto din Nyankopon wo nhira wo bebre. Abusa to adwuma de no so mfema Divine Hope Bible Center for e de otwa ba powder ba wo mo se bra beto se dro ibi West Pain yare usisi a eya wo ya wo yo ba wo ye be ma wono ma ebe yi na free wo de ama afi pause eye koko eno so be boa sexual weakness, low libido, stroke, ulcer, menstrual disorder sa yare nyina bi wo ho a kona ko pe Divine Hope Bible Center for otwa ba pada wo mo de aba ne bi na tobi na nonom ebe yi sa yare nyina e de free wo de ama ukokofo de Gapsin Pharmacy ubenya bi ato sanso na capo ba wo sunyane House of Drugs ya shama boache ansa e Cape Coast na na boache ba otema PK gombela otamale na fe wa bomode na onsaka otwa ba powder Divine Hope Bible Center for e de aba adwaman so no se wo pharmacy shop and herbal shop na edro yu pe bi atu na onso aton afre Divine Hope Bible Center for numbers amedi 2 days so on bejo so ama to edro bi atom 0591656557 0591565557 and 0550639037 0550639037 or try about part or so Jana Shewa wa wo beba yan toss na fe yan gusu mo enkaye said the National Petroleum Authority for egusu kayo se sabedie ukoto se ekwan mu ufie anim umpatem petrol tank bia dane e de ato ho a mepacho enkofa gallon enfa pan bia se okwa kokosobi efise ejabetimi atom mo bia wo ben sa tanka ne bewu nti abere bia be se tanka bia dane ato ba bia no ne obeya ne se number me de ba betu dwei the National Petroleum Authority for the awofra wo mbeje so na afi mpanifo a wo mama wo tete wo asiesie wo bra tanka dane ato wo de omaba abaye sa asiesie no ubetimi so afre the Ghana Police Service and the Ghana National Fire Service no mabebe wo aye sa asiesie no de ama afre number we na MPA for beje so abaye asiesie abere bia tanka bedane ato ba bi 030-255-0380 030-255-0380 kai national so se won ko ekita no esombo esore petrol 1 gallon na ebetimi ahye wase na afi won so ho atimi ayira wo abusia yɛntoa ɛnɛ dwumadie no so mfɛma na ensɛm ahodoɔ a ɛwɔ hɔ no nyinaa no yɛmbɔ mmɔden na yɛmfa no nyinaa ɛtumi ɛnsom no nɛ yɛne David Wawi Brown Esquire or a senior lecturer at the Accra Technical University panin ɛnɛ waba bɛka yɛnsa ɛwɔ fidie yi so a yɛne no ɛba bɛdi nkɔmmɔ a aka nyinaa na yɛhwɛ Kingsley Haruna Amaliba communication team member Edema NDC Amanyoko no so sɛ ɔbɛtumi aba bɛka yɛnsa na sisia deɛ David Wawi Brown atena se yɛnhyɛ nkɔmmɔdie no aseɛ na afei yɛnto ase council akwaba ampo mte sɛn
anyame adom wo
bataka yi smoke ne kala ne yame fe pa
me da ase
sade chena piece
so wa wonim we me to wa
oh okay and e hon dey se papa ne
Yakoba conference last year wa
oh okay a lawyer for
conference na me to
oh nice
nice fun and I next year Wednesday
yeah fugu day
nti eja ya shama ya market yes smoke no
kakra so ye niema ye wono
o say me betu kwa kwabuje say the smoke nkwa na me de beku
fugu nkwa na be
no enye easy
no I represent brand
that is it me born me chef fugu kra
okay ye din koma che so far near kokoso general comment or near me kwasina ne how NDC abai mu take Eniema into places, you know. Then I will can the affair.
What's the general comment?
General comment.
Many aji pass Spain a winning World Cup. Argentina a tomb with you.
Now best Argentina.
Now yeah, there we will Messi debiano na or if I am. Was a Sanya man was as some idea was so lawyer football move. And you both Argentina. And I will say is Africa. Egypt
I think Ghana and England game
now but Ghana mo ya dear mum but the American say we should and let me go boarding click on so hwe ye ote ho amo ye pesamen kumenya ne ye no mo ja saniama no na se na aban pesa obo sports no omo nso omo nyom ni na mo fam boa na we should get the right players on by ball amagana nso akonanim Morocco ya de Egypt ya de na Senegal na ni aka no mo no me say asset mo de bia na African teams no ya na any fighting spirit to the end but me sure say next World Cup you will qualify Africa Cup so you will qualify wa wonim say NDC e ba ba mu a na Ghana football e ya de
Samu
na wonim
NDC wa ba ma Ghana football ya
na wonim ana
I said okay.
Well, World Cup and juvenile World Cup you winning na. It's under NDC regime.
Send you okay the obi MPP near next time be omri nko gine ma obebo last year na afi.
Obebo last year. You person me bo nkrofo bi di omo last year na ko yin.
There be memodin.
2010 in South Africa sheni akoe. Wo de yawo asem am person me boso. But when you other ones, you know, every say His Excellency Ebo Jumapa or Ye Juma.
Very well.
When you say Yesha Yachum Michia Ashafoni Atiefo because of World Cup, and every say nothing want me. I engage every
sure. World Cup this
Michia Minua Ashama Humfo NDC party at large. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is the Vice President. Speaker of Parliament, CJ, and the Obibiara more government appointees, Michio and party executives in Micham Manso.
Good.
Now, once Ghana has become a construction zone, construction in Puntunjuma, Kosupa. Now, the Bakunsa mechanics in Sune Toya na far. A lot of places, you know.
Yes.
Make say some of these things are due to yang aswandene timoding. Baby, I say be sit down, I go sit down. Ewo hono waterways na obi ma permit obi sit down ho. Baby, as I say ye ton na ya ton say ye si edan ye nja sa de ma no. Na ye pese Ghana e fa ntuma pa e fra. O say nyina ye mfa emra enye dwuma. Na ye ndwin o man Ghana ho. Yes, sir, because look at the money that had been spent to some class and almost certain number, about 13 people be met. I don't know how true that is though, but 13 people have lost their lives. Properties nsuo ito nso no samurai boy nsuo for the whole town samurai boy because of illegal mining in Kikau.
Sure.
And no say illegal mining is a high. And nothing I say to me, nya ebinumuna court etime echi omuna court say omudi for na ye de omutumwa. It serves as a warning to all Ghanaians say illegal mining nya de abefuaso. Na matete nso say tribunal nso eba.
Yeah.
Now when you enti angrofo bi mo ni aprese tribunal no mo famba no. Mo say tribunal no no it deals with only offenses against the state and the state interest. And the be criminal cases in kwa and on mafim. And a tribunal so ba chief justice but we can say okay tribunal A would there can for that some don't look at any other matter. And yes, they be over court very fast. But some call a normal court now. Normal court maybe civil cases
okay.
As I say some
okay.
criminal mix up.
Yes.
And in that cases in those and he say who judge now to you overwhelmed. And in adjournment in China Chin anyway. This is but at the end of the day, you know, Attorney General Nini, David Omoya, dear Papa, and state prosecutors. Anti-tribunal is good. I mean, look, Matete is a minority. If you say tribunal, it is a history. History, but if there is any history, we want to know. You see, the tribunal system will help. Wow, me emra de baba bia be check Ghanaians ama aswondin e be subetwa o manmu a obi biara be steady o manmu no nifuaso na yesi court a choki u court 10 years 5 years u case we na yesi ye be biem ama tribunal be fa criminal cases ni bi ama case musi devi adentia history but what is it you want to know what I say it is only an old lady when dead bones are mentioned or Suni. Omuja Sanya Mano. Omano was Omano 20 minutes because it's part of the governance structure. His Excellency Tribunal Bill Neba signing quickly na enya law na yemfa embojuma so that omo sebi omo fum oman sika ebetimi a deal with them. Na Martin so say yesi niama ekoso omaimu na kenufurata dabe no beba eno so yasema say adwen say na because mkrofo awie oman siko won during this period we say Council of State Constitutional Review Committee omodi dual citizen we acquire say people with dual citizens could be given some public office to hold they refused hey me wo hanka me bonse mama omo
na on support
na mama mi so that kind of forata on mpo onya dual citizen ye hwehwe na wako tena UK United States see wanya green card ntenya de obeba na so bi ye man o dual citizen na say woman is supposed to be obefun men sika
ye huni biem
so for me no the timing was good nyame nhihye great o kenu forata somewhere ebe man ya hu say sa dual citizen asem we me mfuaso cha look if you want to serve Ghana be a Ghanaian if you want to serve the United States be an American if you want to serve the British be a British what I say
okay
yeah we have so many Ghanaians omo Ghana for mbese omo sumo man ama mama bi so you find say obi a dual citizen an American citizen and a Ghanaian citizen what kind of IGP the person has American interest and Ghanaian interest. Which interest would the person serve? Now they say be our security be ometimi edi go against on mine and our security architecture. Don't you think so? No, American force was scarcing. Yeah, man, obetimi secret. People who are not even dual citizens they are conniving CIA. Now, no. Look, we should never accept that.
Okay.
I'm born you. And to meet this and say council of say council of state no muti
very well.
And I support them.
Okay.
And to I think the country is moving forward in the right direction.
Sure.
And I may Mr. TUC, I'm begging you. Say mukase tribunal and some way let's allow the tribunal to come Embrana MBA Nejuma. We have not tried. You see, time now can tribunal say history, it was under a military regime.
Okay.
But this one, we are no longer under a military regime.
Yes.
Why are the people afraid? You want people to steal money so that they will spend 20 years, 30 years in court.
Yeah.
By the time I ever, you know, Naskano, family members, you could see no I say no. People must be jailed.
Very well.
Me, I want to see people jailed.
Very well.
Until mine there,
very well.
Last no, Adiba Kunso Chima. Last and so, it say Justice G.F. Annan, former Speaker of Ghana's Parliament.
Okay.
The memorial lecture. I think it's a good one to actually acknowledge the man, to recognize him. And then so Atamil's lecture, Ekoso UPSA. And also was once a great leader. He was one of my mentors.
Okay.
Political mentors at Atamil's. His demeanor and all that. Be honest with your country. Serve your country with fortitude and with honesty. Wow. And me say me can crash or say any position I demand to our man Ghana me go form man sick you understand.
Very well.
I'll make sure say everything is because me pay me wasam. We'll do the work and make sure that things are done right.
Good.
And if you are found culpable of the law, the law will deal with you.
Sure.
And to me, Ghana for one, I want to also congratulate the police service led by the IGP, the military and all that. Say Ghana has become peaceful these days. We want to thank all of them. And I'm media for so you are doing very well. And I mean, Shamona on to Mukamona Muye. And I almost can cry, so much as I can cry. Now, Trony Bino, and I Binomo, they try to lie and a cry or no muye, Sanya Mano, Emboa.
Marty, David. Warri Brown Esquire,
Ashama for
what can
Ashama, Warri Brown to the world. Ashama, my constituency. I know. I will be contesting.
Oh, nice.
I am a parliamentary candidate, hopeful.
Very well.
We want to serve the people of Ashama. Ashama must change.
Great. David Warri Brown, a senior lecturer at Accra Technical University, Panini and in Babylon. Before I make on the Bank of Ghana issue Sembia Babe Tuga. Dano na me call Usukronum acquire photocopy. Me do na ubi ye photocopy Libya. Or they your friend saying Queen. I think 20 pesos be 5 8 yaka almost your monji. Na says can omunji bio. The Bank of Ghana Eddie Babe Tuga said. Wa woton ade wa wokoto ade a will be a day and sesa ema coins what the coins to ade from 1 peso to 10 peso to 5 peso to every currency a Bank of Ghana etwa no so we reject say sika no a asotwe da ho man we betimi de wakọ court e betimi a ende okra ko jail ntino say what is asemi afre wunua bi na ka kire no so obi ba beto ade no okuta coin na wo se won je sa coin na or report why you bet me acho ma be koje because a legal tender e sika ye gitum say ye di wo Ghana ha e ma ne ye enti no na onte dia me de kokobo na ba freuni anaka che no freu ma me na wan ko esa mistake no obi di ni ko police station ko report bi di ni ko meranim ko report say okuta sika we to ade o se wonye because e kwen na e de asembe ba council yento ye nkomodie ne so. The minority caucus in parliament demand say emra ejina ho say obi a force publication obi kan sembia enim obi e kan sembia no dingo obi hu fi threaten ade a etimi gina o meye che no samra no ebe yanka yanyim free ho na freedom of speech wo ho no obi anka ontimi enjoy no onka nia ope ewo oman Ghana ha if we say TikTokers ahodo bebre a wo belonging to the MPP no sa emra yinti wo begina wo pages ahodo ekeka sem ye force publication edidi atemu am na emra akọ no makwa form nti no the minority is demanding say sa emra no omo repeal enfree o say the be ya obi abetimi enjoy the freedom of speech
senka minority emra na MPP also no kan we na nkameti omo asio sha enti yenjaima anybody obi biara betimi asori na ne ope no mo keka they can insult betimi say anything they like.
Yeah,
is that what they are saying?
Yes,
there must be sanity in this country. Sure, America cry I say there is freedom of a speech in the way crano. And yet Bibiana waiting me account on. You see, me, sebi. You see, the minority, they believe, say, when they are in opposition, they should be given the freedom to lie. Who said 2016, in Tro, and on the winning election. And if you are, they can say anything they like. In Tro, and say some mocha. That's what they want to feed on. And we are not going to allow that. Look, what is wrong about the law?
I'm saying, the security agencies who crime, Camilla says, as more abuse. How? By the way, our more chichichi.
Now, yet you be not said, Nippon is so different than the court now. Emrano Mukona Nippon or representation. I say, no Muchina is not right. The court to set the person free.
Almost in common repeal.
You repeal said the anti. And they repeal on Emrabia or my way. You see, I believe, sir, the youth of today, some are so arrogant, they don't respect. Say all manner of things. Say whereby because of Lady Na, you see one Ibrahim, Lady Na, Jelin and say
Kamila
Al Hassan.
Yeah.
Ononte na mu kika sanya mayo. Na hwe nsema obay ekekaye about the president, the number one gentleman of this country, the family of the president, about certain individuals. And some no kekaye okran enye no kre. Utro. How can you say they should kill the president? Those things are serious issues, serious matters. I mean, the judge was even lenient. What I say?
With Camilla 1 year now.
What I say? People cannot just get up and be saying whatever they like in the name of freedom of speech. Freedom of speech must be guided. Freedom of speech does not mean that you go and lie about somebody. And there was a story in as Egypt. I see Obi Eko Kekan and some say Obi say watch book and then the man was what actually to be killed so like that. Okuni Panan say Kekan, have you read the book? Or say no. Book no can you, but you are quoting something and you know Papa and no Troy. Based on that, the man has been harmed. So for me, you see the MPP, anything that goes against them, then it is bad. But and you see, and I believe that they are calling for all these things because they want the law repealed so that they can start their shenanigans. And I don't think that we should support these things. For me, he said no. For me, I will not support that. The laws are there. Don't flout the laws. Unim say, wano ehawa. Check it. Min pese me ko 1 year to say Camila Al Hassan entino. Min ko jina enko kinkan semu edi asembe breme. Why do you lie on TikTok? Because you have TikTok, you have social media, so you can say anything you like. Why are we getting to? People can insult, and there's no respect in the society. And if we are resetting, there must be that respect. Exactly. Yes, before okay. That will it create problem for me? I mean, why do we have laws? You can't just speak against our chiefs, even in our communities those days. Because you revere the chief, you respect them. Look, Akufo-Addo, I do not like him.
You don't like him?
I don't like Akufo-Addo, but it's not everything I can say about him.
Okay.
Why? Because he was a former president. Mm-hmm. He's an elderly person.
Sure.
I may have things I wish I could say against him. But because of his position, because he's an elderly person, and because I've been trained from a good home, I cannot just get up and be saying anything about anybody. What I say?
Okay.
And I think that a call for the repeal of the law. I think law no krano omuma emu MP kramu.
Okay.
You see, the things people are using social media to do, and you see the problem is that Nipan essay would do na or yeah. By the time you go and correct it, the damage had already been caused. What I say, and that's what is happening. People go and defame you, say all manner of things. By the time Abubakar say, you take the necessary action, the person will come, I apologize. How many people will hear the apology? Now your name had been soiled already.
Okay.
And the law should be there. It's to serve as checks and balances for us, all of us, especially the youth of today.
Very
and on one who are loudmouth, who can say all manner of things.
Okay.
Especially for Christ's sake, we are Africans, we are Ghanaians. We come from a certain culture where we must respect the elderly, where we must honor people, our leaders, and all that, no matter what you feel or think about the person.
Very well.
And we should check the way we talk and the way we say things about people.
Medasi, Mamima Haruna Kingsley, Amaliba National Communication Team member of the NDC, or Baba Tenase, Emana Kwabana Fee and Tosso. Director, let us say. Yanko Pandaroma.
I didn't get the arrangement right. Haruna, their first name, Amaliba
Kingsley,
and then Kingsley.
Okay.
There is a last one, but I hardly pronounce it.
Okay.
For very good reason.
And you won't even pronounce it, and then
no, I hardly mentioned it.
Okay.
For very good reason.
Haruna.
So you have to pour a libation, and I'm not prepared to pour the libation, so
okay.
I leave it there. By the way, yes,
which was the surname?
We will get there. Say no. Mamichia senior. Mamichia penny for one way. Titri me boss lawyer. Some if you will be an manaha.
Good.
And Hendra, is it Emmy Africa, right? I want the invitation, a command. There is a program on the 28th of this month.
Okay.
In UK.
Okay.
That will be Thursday or China week.
Okay.
And I'm not to suffer boss or something in my better Jumadinachi. I can only wish him well. Boss, keep shining. We are one of the young guys in our political dispensation. Why chart a new path? And saying this, are also attractive to the youth. Now, all over the universities, people are looking up to NDC as a political party. In fact, you see, at the MPP party, the measures of Sami in NDC political scene. Yeah, in the political scene of Ghana.
Oh, wow.
One, he was young, very intelligent. For NDC to have put such a young, brilliant guy on the party communications was a blow to the MPP. A man who never lost any debate. Consistently during the days in opposition for 8 years. When he came in 2018, 6 years with us in opposition, MPP never won a debate against him. Samina shifted politics from insult, careless and reckless allegations,
yes, into
issue, factual based argument, and justification of same. Oka Asama, he proved it with document, he proved it with publication, he proved it with official source. MPP is not known to that level of politics. Into through the entire party in an off year. And some model the NDC communication organ to move towards a certain line. You can't just sit and speak anyhow. A big meeting, the first one he gives us, whatever you see on radio, can you prove it?
Okay. That's the question.
Yes. Can you prove it? If you can't prove it, don't say it. Because the viewers are discerning. And you're quiet when you are not learned. Anyway, we're not discussing something. So, my boss, I have you be other. Because we have thought to have him as our leader. Good. And then we look up to him. No wonder. And then because of when we look at the more good board. And Sami have been, if we are to talk about individuals or more politically consistent, it is Sami. He has always remained consistent. And resource is his hallmark. We are no two President Muhammad Din the nation's builder. No, the builder of future leaders. So, sorry, good afternoon to you.
Great one.
That's wherever you are.
Yes.
The conversation is the freedom of speech.
Sure. Repealing that law.
Repealing what law?
Will be a forced publication. Was one would answer the question, and the minorities demanded said that law should be repealed.
You see. Even when the Constitution was promulgated in 1992, the framers of the Constitution, in their infinite wisdom, laid a foundation. yeah, impose a limit on freedom of expression and freedom of speech. I am holding a copy of the Constitution in my hand, and I will demonstrate to you why I'm saying this in a moment.
Okay.
But see, sir, if we are to allow the call of the minority to stand, you know, Kawudin can send name topics in Temwa. There's a book we come the Beba, Mahama's Hammer.
Okay.
That's the name of the book.
Okay.
The publications of compilation of articles written by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as he is now, and Honorable Mahama as he then was, from 2002, 2001, 2004. Alex Akego and the compiled President Mahama articles, no, they published that book no to the Mahama Hammer. And then so be as a book not all system anymore. There is an issue where President Mahama wrote about somewhere in 2002. What do we do with the media? That's the title of the article.
Okay.
President Mahama quoted a lamentation by the then Vice President, His Excellency Alhaji Aliu Mahama, following the repeal of the criminal libel law. A brother MPP4 a program Eastern Region Kofodia to be precise, where Alhaji Aliu Mahama bemoaned the media and warned, say, those time to not call in sessions started by, if you remember.
Yeah.
Radio see a program they not be called in.
Phone lines,
and he said that people were using the call in as an avenue to malign government and caution media stations to install electronic gadget a bit delay phone in calls transmission to air.
So be KBB and your
yes, or make enough filters as now come from him.
Okay.
And he warned that they shouldn't take the repeal of the criminal libel law to mean government is wicked after all. That was then. What even led to the publication, how do you call it, the repeal of the criminal libel law? It came about as a result of a case which, if I recall, I'll mention it. Is it? If I remember the case, I'll mention it to you. That case was taken to court. It was a publication about the former First Lady. Yeah, I don't know, say, or export to cocaine or something like that. In fact, it was malicious. And I think there was a Ghanaian Chronicle at that time, it's a publication. It was a Akufo-Addo who was their lead counsel at that time. The short of the story is that Ebema, the basis, you know, the Akufo-Addo is a human rights lawyer. So Akufo-Addo getting that moniker of human rights lawyer was born out of a maligning and misleading a publication of false information, which he happened to be a lead counsel of the accused persons. You know, they ended that name. So he aired that name crudely. You get that? The MPP politics have over the years survived on policies of deception, lies, vexation, and deception. Now, we show now. We no coffee MPP more obewu. That's where they are. It has also we trophy MPP more obewu.
Okay.
That's how the party have been structured. Lies, 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 and lies. But then the amount of people who change the pan and social media and access to mass information. You can Google and get it, or you go to TikTok, you get it, or you go on AI search. That's something I can.
Yeah.
Say, well, system anymore. The system will bring it to you. Because they're unable to transition and do politics of decency, they are stuck in their old self. And no, it's one of the viruses, regardless of so now they think that the only way MPP can become relevant, they say, you couldn't collide from social media and go after the personality of the president and the first lady. In some much, I'm to me, President Mahama in the Yereho Sabi, Yasampa. Who can't say, a family, Papa, who are making I'm telling you. So, I bet Chile Papa and a housemaid, a woman, making No kind of one of fun would be. Oh, Patron, a commence MPP need common sense. Yes, sir. Omayaka. And the party members are intellectuals. Is it even true MPP intellectual party? They are too misleading political status MPP for our
doctors, lawyers,
yeah,
PhD
holders. Because if you recall, 1960s Kwame Nkrumah, who was he? A common man who went to study in abroad. No about fear, say, I am leading my nation to liberation, right?
Yes.
Same as Moses. How rich was Moses? How learned was Moses? But Onyankopon saw the commonness in him. Onipa heard the training him, Onyankopon the common. And he chose Moses, or leader my Israel out of captivity in Egypt. The same way that Kwame Nkrumah could share dear Ebayano, when we who say, what got my butchery, one of the Niatna, one of the issue, what not train papum, what other papamunti, or some much Ghana for fear. No, he never did that. He associated himself with the common people and formed the CPP in 1947. That eventually won Ghana political independence. And the JB Dankwa offshoot, BJ the Rocha, Peter Lajate, and those guys who buy in a they saw themselves as learned bourgeoisies. I am sorry to say this because I am a student of law. With all due respect to the legal fraternity, I said the law is an arrogant profession. I am sorry to say this. It's an arrogant profession because lawyers, particularly embar lawyers, you understand what I'm saying? Or who say Ocheo? That bourgeoisie mentality clouded their sense of judgment. So they were able to adapt to the system and they continued. Kwame Nkrumah, they never regarded Kwame Nkrumah because he associated himself with the common people. When NDC came out of PNDC in 1992, Rawlings also adopted the same party because he was equally a common man. 1979, 1980, 81, then 1992. Now, when the NDC came to power or emerged as a political party, we adopted that common approach, bringing every Ghanaian together. That is why the party is Congress. Okay? Then you move along that line. And the MPP forum, at any point, say, because the partner can say, fuck him, so they are the limit bang. MPP lawyers are more honor. Over 80% or 90%, I dare say, were trained by lawyers like Chijikatanum, Professor Thomas, former Chief Justice of Kufu, was so bad for the magnanimity of Professor Mills, she couldn't have been a lawyer. Also, one of them. Now, lawyer Yachain Moko, Sao Umano. No, the uncrophobia of Ghana, I am on record to have said this, and I have no shame at all to say this or any fear to say it. The women of Cotton Crophone go heaven, I will protest. I could follow one of them.
Over petition God.
The women, I will not petition God. The women of Cotton Crophone go heaven, I will protest.
So when Tiasha says we share the former president of
a billion will pass Mr. Kufado heaven. I will be shocked.
I didn't see.
I will protest. And of course, major transfer.
So why are you doing?
Major transfer. He doesn't qualify to be there.
That's why I would require me.
And if I'm I will leave that to me. No. Now, if I'm civilian about yourself, you really probably can't say to down. No money being so very popular. He's also one of them. I quite a USC said, who crammed down the shoe him, or Krumah, so one of them. So these are charlatans. Okay? They don't have the national at heart. Property owning Democrat. A confusion. A reformer. A reformer.
I know these
are descriptive words. These are descriptive words. Because we are within here, it's a descriptive. Because we are confuwa, and you super na make wasn't, and you strong words. So, so what a fellow mark in Parliament, Abu Bombs come about near Jatarin and Ma. Understand it? Because a fellow marking doesn't have credibility. Obiamu boom gun higher for your marking.
No.
No, let me tell you why.
He's a minority.
Oh, forget it. Minority the committee inside a police
and a member of parliament.
Oh, please. Minority the committee inside a police officer in uniform. But for anything, respect the crown nation and respect it. That's a symbol of the state. A lawyer, a senior member of the bar, who organizes press conference and malign a sitting judge and call him names, making frivolous allegations against the bench. You expect me as a law student to respect this man because he's a senior member of the bar? No, I won't respect him until he behaves himself according to the ethics of the profession. I won't do that. He is called and said we should repeal one law. Listen to Article 21. And you see some of the media make mistakes. Almost one of my quote, whoa, Article 21, freedom of speech. No, if you are reading the Constitution, don't read them in part. Read the provision in whole. Listen to the law. Article 21. All persons. Who's what all persons were?
Yes.
And the fundamental human rights of the law, as enshrined in Article 21, takes inspiration from Article 12 clause 1. Okay? And Article 12 clause 1, which is the foundation of all human rights, liberties, and freedom enshrined in this Constitution, says what? The fundamental human rights and freedom enshrined in this chapter, not this provision or this article, this chapter, means the whole chapter 12 shall be respected by all natural and legal persons. Why natural and legal persons? Legal persons because when a company is incorporated in Ghana, that company is a legal entity distinct from its directors. And you say, can right now, Obi enjoy and Article 21 now. That right now, you're only natural persons like you and I. Companies also have right to trade, to exercise their business right, to acquire business certificate, and to do all many things that the law requires of them to do. Okay? It's a law that can all persons are. It means all legal and natural persons, but the framework doesn't need to make that distinction because it has been made already under Article 12 clause 1. Number one, including the organs of government, the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. Okay? And all natural and legal persons, and shall be upheld and enforced by the court. Now, only the Article 21 of Moses Debeya, all persons have the right to freedom of speech and expression, which shall include freedom of the press and other media. Okay? B, freedom of thought, conscience, and beliefs, which shall include academic freedom, freedom to practice any religion and to manifest such practice, freedom of assembly, including freedom to take part in procession and demonstration. Also, they came down to Article 41. And now, listen to Article 41. The exercise and enjoyment of right and freedoms is inseparable. Okay?
Okay.
I am not a judge. But per my little constitutional law, school, this Article 41 is laying a limit to Article 21, where you cannot go beyond. The exercise and enjoyment of freedoms and right and freedoms is inseparable from the performance of duties and obligations, meaning whilst you are enjoying the right to speak, the right to express your view, know that they are right and their obligations and duties imposed on you by the same Constitution. And accordingly, it shall be the duty of every citizen to promote the prestige and good name of Ghana and respect the symbols of Ghana.
It's in a minority to me in Kase. They are demanding for a repeal.
Maybe you are listening to me, right? To foster national unity and live in harmony with others. 3, that's the bill. To respect the right, freedom, and legitimate interests of others, and generally to refrain from doing acts detrimental to the welfare of other persons. What does that mean? You have a failure marking and in a group, minority, this insignificant members in parliament talking anyhow because everyone, once you are of town, you own one vote. and the conglomeration of that one vote have put them in parliament and they're misbehaving. These guys and people, that party must be banned from Ghana. Yes. And if NDC want to understand, we will say, Team Ghana for the mile, that too will include ban the MPP if we could. We should do it. And then we will say, we must use this opportunity to introduce the electoral college system. No party can form government in Ghana unless you win such a majority number of regions.
Percentage.
It must be done, yes. Percentage completely bogus. If that were the case, Akufo-Addo couldn't have called the 2020 elections. He couldn't have crossed. Because regions are to about 20.
Okay, me don't say.
And also by taking all over the gerrymandering and shenaniganism of the electoral commission, it will cure all those things. So, me conclude, the call for the repeal is bogus, is irrelevant, is childish, is unconstitutional. It defies good conscience, convention, and principle of good governance. We must nip it in the bud.
Haruna Amaliba Kinsley, National Communication Team member of the NDC, and I will tell you in Kansas live on TVSYZ and Power 97.9 FM Inside Politics. Jumedi Studio. We shall make our say. Power specialist Seba Hospital Sebra Yarwa Hodwa Mbabu Di na wote wodi ewo mu pe mana mo to to make akọ na fe kọ na mo sasa yare no emfema nti hepatitis A B C D and E be ba cho mutu ase kra wo Power specialist Seba Hospital. Fatty liver, sciatica, prostate, broken bones, ulcer, swollen neck, fibroid. Saya wa hodo nyina se wodi ewo mu a be ba cho manu sipe for number but bet you are free Power specialist about for any money nkomo na je direction ye na ko nya dia wo de say yare no be san wachi akofie bio da eti wudi wani chem ewo kuma se o branch e wo no ewo fe yi ase lake so mtwe kwan so opposite Just Bro filling station nemum ubedu enkrai ha omo okwa benya poku ase ACP kwan so takra de omo anaji estate adjacent da anaji MA primary school bomodin na friend numbers ya me di tudwai nchiremu aka bi omo de ba besom na wo yare aye krankra tena so no wo masa yare ne dia 0244 544422 0244 544422 and 0200383831 0200383831 on WhatsApp number 0345 797878 0555 797878 now if you wait a minute Power specialist about 24 adding combo na oyare no said ye bia no o maje bre no masa oyare na oho etimi atọ ma wen ka o se ba bia obetimi age wa home age wani ahome ade aduane pa ma akoma atọ yem Safari Valley Eco Resort abusia so when you leave or vacation holiday bi na o pe ba bi wo manyi mu akwaje wa home a udu we be o sa abrochiri dia me kan for Safari Valley Eco Resort dia ma na udru wa kwan o ma fa so create ma lake e wo ho na obetimi atena so ni boat say ye nkwa wo ne ho kani o ma ye harmless zoo and more woman no between the idea of crowd money or shade now shed down or messy in Mianepa woman no ho from a far the greeny nature of a Safari Valley Eco Resort in the Sewani and Sesame Church in Wahadi actually for any chim na ewo kwapem edukro makwapem ene okuba kwapem batem wano mbutu so obey ye obey party engagement conference and ipadodo obeba mana class IF no bi etie ni aja for Safari Valley Eco Resort for mbeje so na afi o mabo modern amma bia ya o de bedi sage media ebe fe yie pa frɛ wo mo number me de to dwai na ani o ni nkomo nchemu aka bia o mo de be so 0596914394 0596914394 and I visit your website no www.safarivalleyresort.com na nkomo aka bia no o mo ni wonni na afi kɔ honum kɔje wa home na wa bɛka sa pa Obrempong actually me baby pa Victory Garlic Mix abedwama so and an enterprise for na this do ya abedwama so say we obi a we ade kakra na okoma booking kinkin no abre nsane wona nyina etimi yechichi and as a dizziness and etete wa brabo ma onsanka Victory Garlic Mix a omde abedwama ni so na nonom ebebiebie wuntimu edi unipadua no mu afri sane na baby biara moja ntimi wura na ewurawura na niema ehaw ema wapomudi enyina brane no eyini nyina de afri ho Oko kan shaking so kwa obenya Victory Garlic Mix and an enterprise for edi abedwama ni so bi no wato na mum wo pharmacy shop and as herbal shop na edro yu pebi edi agu shop na fe won so watimi aton amankrofo enyo ma hoden amepacho bo modern afre Aniana Enterprise for our number is so remember Victory Galley Mr. Nidia to now so at 0201 293 280 0201 293 280 and 0242 545 633 0242 545 633 now if you want to set me account Victory Galley Commission Aniana Enterprise for Eddie Abbey Drama. So we are still live on TV SYZ and Power 97.9 FM. Inside Politics, Jumedi Sini, Midi Obrempong, Jumedi, and Mina Midi Hon Chame, Eddie Amao. In Chiaka Sepa, FM Koma, a year Swami, NDC, a year constituency, Swami constituency, NDC for chairman, our Nidindi NS Afayam, one of your managing director, the Kumasi City Market Limited. Sansona. John Bento, constituency executive member, Dodona Friend Congress, Ewo, a year in Shiasumum, sorry, is Shiaso constituency chairman of NS Afayam, and Afe John Bento and Crawford Freno, a year Congress, I will also a year executive member, Ewo in Shiaso constituency. Sabri, ye sign Akko, Nafe, and Penny Former Becker, Sir David Warwick Brown, Esquire, senior lecturer at the university, a year Accra Technical University, Sansona, a year Haruna Maliva Kingsley, a year National Communication Team member of the NDC. Council, may bow the Accra High Court on Monday, Bernard and Chibu Siakwa, Dodona Friend Chairman, won't me the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the MPP, 1 man 20 years, Sir One Fen Concord, Fiasi, and Nam illegal mining activities, Galamsey, a course, I was Savannah boy. MPP for Akasadi Afaho, almost with a year political prosecution. Akoswama, won't me academity, won't me is considered a year political prisoner. Since me then, Akadia Afaho.
You mean, Chama won't to me sentence, no, a year 2 counts. Baku, a year 20 years, and another one, so 20 years. But court and say the sentence will run concurrently. Nature said 20 years first one air corner, na second one so then air co. And there's a bonus for 10,000 penalty units. 10,000 penalty units in penalty unit be 12 cities. Nature said 1 tiasa 10,000 times 12 say 120,000 for each and additional 3 years. And it's a 120,000 fine.
That's the 10,000 penalty
units 1 tier. Nature said obeko 23 years for one and 23 years for the other one.
Okay.
Aha. And yet, yeah, funny said 20 years, sack, 20 years, and I fine, and another 20 years, and I fine. Now, many I want, they me at the back, I make and say, court, the boate, now will drink, say, a tembon, and I'm family, you have a right of appeal. And he said, MPP for, when him say, court atembo na court na MIA no am famra kwan so na it was wrong. Go to court. Why the noise?
They are even going out for a demonstration.
Why demonstrate?
6 days.
Why demonstrate? So when you enkusiaga, you see, to me, what is the fact? Simple is say, you see, to me, anya concession. Say, your man concession say own to gold. And yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now, on no want to me at the sir. We know right at the ma ubi fufro enkumni ni account ni Crawford be say omunko into 2 gold no mufa sika no benya from a mine no omufanya reclamation and because you say concession na ye de ma want to mean aban and the emanent no he cannot what sublet sir right to somebody without the approval of the minister.
Okay.
1 year sir. No, they move people from. So it's number one, you have flouted what the law.
Okay.
Maybe tell our short because many also make us a time.
Yes.
What is here?
Yes.
And the echo court and want to say, oh, or no, or the inema is on your reclamation. And I caught in the business, who discuss on some final reclamation, should they be? So Nipa now who see on your reclamation, he found a benyiska. At the higher reclamation, Nipa na would the concession man on so say, won't to me will say, on non to 2 gold, on your galamsey, illegal money, on yes cannot find your reclamation. Who sa at the no course, baby, when your excavators in his son, excavators at the reclamation. Near my head to 2 gold, who san lidino, and the court and say, but won't to me, Nipa say, who Who say on to go no first cannot be no find reclamation. And I will say antisa. Scabe who this man who see baby. Until onya scawan, at the court and share circumstances or no. Near Nipanekano, it makes more than sense. That is why I say you were abetted, you aided, you facilitated. Sanyama wena obi ko ekoye boni ekodi boni bi na wo boa ne pa no e wo mra kwan so wo boa ne e wo mra mu obi kodi boni bi na wo boa ne pa na otimi edisa boni na wa boa na wo edisa boni no you are also culpable.
Okay,
that is what it is. And it's a mumu say muntia say that thing is go to court.
Okay,
na mun ko face mra no bibia court no edifo na court na mbu ateye na matin na etisa me won nya nema omu ka so me press conferences ni SACs the demonstration actually say omo nim say atembo no okay but they want to reap public sympathy. And for me, you know, we enkosi aga go to court. The courts are there to deal with the matter. And me know we no mu here no they just throwing dust into our eyes. And tiawa meka afa wuntumi asem ewe hu.
Very well. Amaliba, wuntumi is 20-year jail sentence and the reaction of the MPP.
Mami kancha IGP will be asem on a highway. Now I'm getting the men ready.
Onion the men ready. And the omokoi.
You should get the men ready. Only tear gas, they should get the tear gas enough in stock.
Tear gas and
FPU, water cannons, so they should refurbish them. May mechanic, but make master boat and mechanics. See, we are a serious country. Obrempong, the foot trotro all the time. We need someone to tea, trotro. You think Ghana for Babonti in their numbers to vote and bring President Mahama back to power, despite all the malice, despite all the personal attacks, despite all the humiliating comment of the MPP apparatchiks and assigns. They gave him the mandate. You call the whole thing Triana? No. Dollar is down. City has been stabilized. Ghana can't ever form. Big push is going on. Mahama came to do wonderful. No school fees, free stress policy is working.
No fee stress.
No fee stress policy is working. Many more. Minister Beko Parliament ready at the moment to give the year budget review. And then the GSM made them call ever. However, Ghana force a card back. I can't pay. Top it up and jail the team for us. That's all. Oh yes. If NDC want to win the next elections and win and chop it cool, no, cool chop, we must jail the thieves. Simple. You think the people are fools? Dr. Makeno Hine Jekum, before his untimely demise, was say 800 members of Association of Ghana Industries how do you call it? They've died. A dozen of them were in wheelchairs. During the banking sector cleanup exercise, Joy News and 24 old men. Look, you hear many who are they and one who grow, you know.
Yeah.
And imagine Kasatintin senior lecture halls, surround a pa, market script, doing everything. Fine. Because you are building something small. And you see, until I go to the level of this time reading equity trust and succession, and I understand the damage Akufo-Addo government caused to Ghanaians. Imagine someone here Duma. Now would they buy 100 or 200,000 Ghana cedis? Adia trust Amawuma with a trustee. The beneficiaries being your children because you are the settlor. Man way. Atinya collapse bank into affect the trust. The future you are building for Uma. Imagine say akwala wato insurance. And they the parents because law no matter if you're underage, you can insure your parents. so that when they died along the line, during your minor age, the insurer will take care of you. That kind of letter just have business of interest in Edema Enterprise Insurance. I was killing that shame, Dantem, or Cotembo Chase who crumbled the show. Who committed a mass murder? You know? They catch you added environmental law in school. And we talk about sustainable development. Yeah. What are the principles behind sustainable development? The simple definition is meeting the need of the current generation without compromising the benefit and the livelihood of the future. And here, you see, when you take care of a community well, it must serve for the next 20 years. And that's sustainable development. Because we na Brantai Kutao, who Casapero de Catebuna, how many will it take for us to finish the same day? Very well. And that brings a cost to the company. You enjoy my to me from the bonnet. When I do money to me the bonnet, and I wonder why Akufo-Addo wasn't hauled before the court as how do you call it, a defense witness.
That's the former president, not one Galam saying.
But I want to assure the MPP. I want to assure Ghanaians who are listening and watching that this afternoon. President Mahama Abano is slow but sure. We will not rush. The law will apply. Regional Tribunal bill has been passed. President Mahama was like, when you call it Kramo Baunya, ya or no wine every pork. What is that? You see? Oh no, Mr. Oh no wine, no. Mate, Makia, because of the respect I have for you and your viewers. Makia, you see, what is that? Kramo Kansemia to Jabuda. See December January 31st. You are talking about the digital man. I am talking about the Muhammadu Bawumia. Since January 31st, 2026. Yeah, I'm for you. How many months now? July the year August. No. Bawumia can someone say the actor from 1 year. So we said tribunal. I said president. I didn't rubber Bontiabeka because a good design. When you know Konsoba. Oh, when a slave sees his colleague being buried in the shallow pit, he should know that when the day comes, he will go the same way. You do my phone show and you are you saying? Maybe you do my phone show and you do my phone show and and to me that way, what kind of cheat?
Are you saying, if you are not a thief near a microphone?
Exactly. Now let me a koto to payable crop for woman. I thought the share it's again to be and to me almost time to cool. I'm going for party besides here. You might hear me take a base so I pass I campaign my MPP. Come 2028. But see PDS gang I thought about the feel okay the old about to be one I confirm you I'm Haliba Kingsley, National Communication Team member for the NDC. Sansona David Warwi Brown Esquire. One senior lecturer at the Accra Technical Investing. Penny for me, no, and on Becca and say, no, you may not fee inside politics. And somehow, who you didn't come away about Besma Hannah Brema Quine. Now, your dear Nessu Jumedine, see, you call me Sierra, Mr. Abjampo, or Mr. Peter Cranton, and Bass, Mr. Imanokisi. Any Mr. Emmanuel Neti, woman MCI, Yomo di Abribiano, woman she TV in this demand. Ligine makeup, Ewofia, Kofia Sante, ne Francis, ne Gina Cameron, Nechi, a charge media way, Edesme, Mr. Kelvin Asante, one enemy producer, Papa Power, she said, Media in Amam, say, Midi Huchamia, Busia, Midi the Enke Obrempong, the grassroots president, to Quapamai Kania, Tutu, a Capem de She, Yankopon, and Shrawa Mempeneda said, and so Jibre. News team now ready. One more Samaka Eba Smochina, Meno Bessia, Macau.